Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's knows some things make zero sense, like why the algorithm knows your music tastes better than you do. But zero sugar and full flavor? We made that make sense with new Welch's Zero Sugar. All that passion fruit or tropical punch goodness and none of the sugar. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Wheeling, West Virginia, a horrible man with a nasty past finally goes too far when he lures two people into a bloody and brutal scene and seems to live out his fantasies. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us today on another wild edition of Small Town Murder. And today, it's West Virginia time. And if you know anything about Small Town Murder, there's some states that are at the top of that crazy murder pyramid. West Virginia sits alone as a shining star. Atop. We've had the craziest murders we've ever had in West Virginia, and this week, no different. This week, by the way, if we have time, and I think we're going to even sneak in a second story, a very old. So we have one story that's very new, and then one story that's very old, and they're crazy stuff. So just a really fun, insane week of murder we have.
Different week. I like this.
Different stuff. Quickly before we get to that, shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows.
Yes.
April the 5th, Sacramento. April the 6th, San Francisco. You're up first, so let's get in there. Don't embarrass yourselves, of course.
Right.
You want to, after that, get to the 420 virtual live show.
Yes, sir.
That's the easiest show to get to because wherever you are, that's where the show is.
That's where it is.
In your living room, anywhere in the world, if you have an internet connection, you can see that live show. Just like a regular live show, we do the screen and the pictures and us and the jokes and the story. Also,
Only
though,
a theme.
because it's 420, I'm going to have smoking apparatus that will scare Jimmie. And also, we're going to dress up in some costumes, which is fun stuff. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And the show is available not only on April 20th, but for 2 weeks after that, too. You can watch it a whole bunch of times, do whatever you want with it for 2 weeks. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Get your tickets for the rest of the year, too, because they're going fast.
Yes,
shows
sir.
are selling out. Patreon.com/crime in sports. That's where the bonus material lives.
It sure is.
You want more stuff? We got more stuff. We got a couple hundred bonus episodes you'll get immediately. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get it all. All those bonus episodes that you've never heard before. And then new ones every other week. One crime in sports, one small town murder. You get it all. This week, what you're going to get for crime in sports, we're going to talk about Hans Niemann, who is a chess player who everyone thinks had a vibrator up his ass to win chess tournaments.
Yeah.
And apparently,
delivering veal.
And he's not the first to do this, apparently. Apparently,
unbelievable.
Sticking things up your ass and playing table games is a really...
That's not original?
No, it's not. Not even. We're going to talk about that and the history of
people
things
have
up
already
your
gotten
ass.
that idea?
Wow. And you heard it and you hear it and you go, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. That's interesting. Then for small town murder, a subject I've wanted to talk about for a long time, D.B. Cooper. Came onto a plane, jumped off it, disappeared. We don't know what happened to him. There's new information that's been out in the last couple of years we'll talk about. And just
not even a lot of money.
Not even a ton of money. It's so strange. What a weird case. All we have is this sketch drawing of him and a bunch of people going, what a polite guy. That's all. Patreon.com/crime in sports. And you'll get a shout out at the end of the show as well, where Jimmie will mispronounce your name.
You bet.
Disclaimer very quickly as well. It's a comedy show. We're comedians. We wish that these stories weren't true, but they are. Nothing is enhanced for comedic value or anything like that. Every word of this is true. Unfortunately, we do all the research that's possible to get every last drop of info for you there. What we don't do, though, what we go out of our way not to do, we don't make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags. That's how that goes.
So pretty good deal.
You think that sounds good? You want to hear a crazy story with some humor to lighten it up a little bit, not to be weird. You know what I mean? Then you're in the right place.
Drag me
if
down.
you think true crime and comedy never should ever go together, maybe you're not in the right place.
No.
Give it a shot before you make the decision, though. And
don't be so dismissive.
No complaining about it afterwards. That's how that
what
works.
it is. Yeah.
That sounds good. I think it's all time. Let's do this. It's time to do it. Let's all sit back. A deep breath here. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout.
Shut up and give me murder.
Let's do this. What do you say, everybody?
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, Jimmie. Let's do it.
All right.
We are going to West Virginia.
Right.
And we have not been, personally, the two of us, in many places in West Virginia.
Right.
But we have been to this place together in a car.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
We
drove through?
We ate horrible hamburgers in a parking lot, actually.
What?
In this place. Wheeling, West Virginia. It is on the way from Pittsburgh to Ohio. If you go from Pittsburgh to Columbus, it goes right through it, like we did when we did a show in Pittsburgh, then did one in Columbus. We drove there. And and Wheeling, West Virginia. Remember, we were like, oh, God, we're in West Virginia. We got to hide. They're going to be pissed at us here. We're fucked.
And we had cheeseburgers there?
Yes.
Oh, my God, at the Wendy's out back.
There was
the biggest Wendy's.
Stuff was falling out of it. He was just stuffing it in. I was like, wow, that is...
It was still in the wrapper.
Oh,
and I was mashing it into my face.
At the end, you just had a wrapper up against your face. I was like, what is going on here?
I do remember that.
In
That's
the car.
crazy.
Yeah, that was a wild place. That's where that was, Wheeling, West Virginia. in this off the highway, like
weird Wendy's, truck stop style Wendy's.
Yeah, it kind of looked like an outlet mall, and then had a Wendy's on the outside of it. It was weird. I don't know what's going on there.
There was was that like a strip mall in front of like a strip mall?
Yes, that's what it was. Like an outlet
Two
mall,
layers of
then
strip
mall, and then like those side of the highway fast food restaurants.
Boundary Road.
Yeah. Wheeling is in the northern West Virginia panhandle. And that even in this on the website, they say the northern panhandle. I mean, they're all about it. That's exactly what it is. It's a little tiny panhandle up there. About an hour to Pittsburgh and about 2 hours to Columbus, Ohio, the other direction.
Okay.
So that's where it is. About 3 hours and 35 minutes to Pemberton, West Virginia, which was our last West Virginia episode 434. A nearly headless horror scene was the name of that. And it was gross. I remember that.
Nearly.
This is in Ohio County. So they were like, well, we're wedged in next to Ohio. Might as well just call it Ohio. Area code 304. Motto here, the friendly city.
Is it?
Wow, what happened in our story is anything but friendly. I'll say that much. Okay. Anything but friendly. A little bit of the history. We'll go through this real quick here. The name Wheeling, the origins of the name are disputed. I guess the main one that they think it is they think it comes from a Lenape Native American tribe name with the phrase Wheelink or Wheelunk, which meant a place of the head or place of the skull.
Oh,
so,
not like the beginning of mouth of a river, but
no,
the
because
head.
The name supposedly refers to either a Native American prisoner of other tribes or a white dude who was a settler there. Either way, the person was scalped and decapitated in this area.
Lord.
So that's why it's named that. It's literally a head that they stuck there. And the reason is that the severed head was displayed at the confluence of Wheeling Creek and the Ohio River. They put it on a pike there and said, don't fuck with us, I guess.
What?
Yeah, that's some hardcore shit. West Virginia's never been safe, I'm telling you. The place has always been wild.
It's not a place to take your pickup truck back into the woods.
I mean,
if you do that and go wheeling back there, you might be.
There's heads on sticks and shit.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Terrifying, and that's why they named their town after that. Just a head warning people. So
wow.
It reached its peak of population in 1930. So it's been a 100-year decline since then.
Right.
There was, I guess, as the city was growing, there was people building big houses, actually, on Wheeling Island especially. But there's also slums for factory workers and things like that, and mining, miners and that sort of deal. As a result of the growth, an ordinance was passed regulating personal cesspools, because you got to have your cesspool regulated. I keep my cesspool in tip-top condition. How about you?
Personal one?
Personal cesspool. Hey, out of my
personal?
This is my personal cesspool here. Get the fuck out. What are you trying to contaminate my cesspool? Go.
What's your personal cesspool? How do you have that? Like your fucking septic tank?
Well, they said there was also a ban on pipe communications with other homes and businesses unless offensive smells were properly trapped. So I think they were trying to make the town smell less like sewage is what they were doing here.
Huh.
Yeah. The Great Depression changed everything. It restructured restructuring of industry came with World War II, and then there was a lot less jobs after that. And so it kind of has been falling apart since then.
Yeah.
Here's some reviews of the town, because we've never been there. So
let's
give you a couple. And most of them are good. Most of the people like it here. Here's 5 stars. Wheeling is accurately nicknamed the Friendly City, and for good reason. It's a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. Friendly. Head on a pike. That's where it started. I was born and raised in Wheeling. I have been blessed with the opportunity to travel around the world on several occasions and still look forward to coming home. The crime rate is low. Don't you say that. We'll say that.
Don't you dare.
We have statistics. You don't. And while the nightlife and activities aren't as plentiful as other big cities, Wheeling is like much else in life, what you make of it. I am proud to be a product of Wheeling and will always be proudly own my West Virginia heritage, no matter where life takes me. All right, they love it. And then finally, 3 stars here. Just do 2. Not a terrible town. That's good. It's a raving, screaming from the rooftops review, isn't it? There's a zoo, casino, and golf courses near, and around here, along with outdoor opportunities like boating or hiking. So there's a zoo, a casino, and a golf course. That's a weird day. Play some golf, look at a tiger, lose some money. That's a great day. I would be careful about buying on Wheeling Island, however, as it's prone to flooding in rainy seasons.
Oh, no.
Now, our actual thing takes place on Wheeling Island. So that's
really?
Interesting that they keep mentioning that. 2 stars here, one more. There really is not a lot to do. It's quite boring here. The only thing you can do to keep yourself occupied is going to someone else's house to hang out. That would be okay with me if Wheeling was a farm town, but it's not. It's a town that is trying to be a city, but its streets are so empty you can see tumbleweeds roll past on the sidewalk. I've met good... No, yeah, there's no... there's no thistle. Thistle isn't growing there. That's out there. By the way, did you know that thistle, that's all tumbleweeds are a total accident?
Go on.
Russian immigrants came, and they had the thistle seeds stuck in their clothes when they came, and somehow a couple of them got on the ground. They didn't plant the shit on purpose. They had it stuck in there from where they were from.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was...
tumbleweeds are not naturally occurring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, who knew?
They had the seeds stuck in them, and they got them on the ground.
Wow.
And the next thing you know, the whole western part of the country is covered in them. It's crazy. So I thought that was weird. So, they said, I've met good people here, however. I have some really good friends. I do plan on moving away, but I will always keep in touch with them. I'm not going to stay here, but, people, 27,142 people here. So it's not a tiny town.
No.
But
wow.
They all describe it as a very small town, though. So I think maybe it feels smaller than it is. More females than males, about normal. A little older on the median age, it's about 43. Less people married here. More people are single with children. Race of this town, 90% white in Wheeling, 5.9% black, 0.9% Asian, 1.1% Hispanic. So pretty white in this town. 42% of the people here are religious, and it'll surprise you, but Catholic is actually the top religion here.
Is that right?
Yes, because there's a lot of ethnicities that are here, because any mining town back in the day, especially ones that are close to Pennsylvania, had a lot of
Ohio
Italians.
River Valley.
Had a lot of Italians, a lot of Polish people, a lot of people like that would come in. So the unemployment rate here is almost 7%, which is high, almost twice the national average at this point. Median household income is way lower than the national average, too, $43,483. So about $25,000 low. Cost of living, 100 is regular. Here it's 76. Median home cost, though, $131,400.
Very affordable.
Like 1997 style is what this place is.
Incredibly affordable.
And if you cannot wait to get here, we have for you the Wheeling, West Virginia Real Estate Report. The average 2-bedroom rental here goes for $980 a month. So it's lower than the national average by a good shot. Here, and apparently they're building a lot of apartments here currently. A lot of apartments are going up in the last couple of years. Here's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So technically T-bowl for every B-hole here. 980 square feet. The porch is literally falling off the house. It looks like the guy on an old Mountain Dew can is going to come out of it with a shotgun and go, get off my consarn get off my land, you government, sons of bitches, and he's going to start firing shots into the air.
It's leaning.
It's not great, and it's like in a lot of other houses, so it's like in an old city section of the town too. So it's not even like there's no land, you're crammed in. There's also a pale old sad yellow color that's clearly from decades ago. There is a fridge in the backyard. Not sure if it comes with the house or not, but
bonus.
It's just sitting there with the doors open currently. You can
doors open.
Check that out. $50,000 for that.
And the fridge.
And the fridge. Like, I don't know. Like I said, that's not mentioned in the listing. I can't guarantee that. Here's a Can't speak to it. Here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,050 square foot house. So it's a nice, it's a smaller house, but it's nice, regular, standard house. Nothing falling off of it. Looks nice from the outside. Clean, wood floors, white kitchen. Yeah. The house backs up to some decent looking woods. You don't have like other people right on top of you. Not bad. $134,900 for that. So that's that's your average house, I guess.
Okay.
And here is a 4-bedroom, 6-bath. So that's a T-bowl for each and every V-hole.
Interesting. Yeah.
6,331 square feet.
My Christ.
Yeah, 3.6 acres.
Yeah.
And it's all trees surrounding the house. If you're in your house, you don't see anybody or anything. Huge brick house, amazing pool. Looks like a beautiful oasis in the middle of West Virginia. It's it's weird as shit. $899,000 for that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in Arizona, that is $8.5 million. That would be $8.9 million.
Add another zero.
Yeah. Add a couple more zeros there. Things to do in this town: the Upper Ohio Valley Italian Heritage Festival. I couldn't even get it out. I was so excited. The Italian
West Virginia has a whole festival for you.
There is a lot of Italians. Remember we talked about mining back in the day? Come over. We're already all greasy. They just shove us right down a hole. They just go
all lubed up.
Let's go. So there's a lot of them there. This year, I'll read right from the site here. Following the ribbon cutting, Tom Fatto, this year's Italian American of the Year for the festival.
Of the year.
I win. Can I be your Italian American of the Year, please? One of these festivals. Someone have us in there. We'll bring attention to that shit. Help me. What the fuck? Can't get into the Hall of Fame there and the one. Help me out here.
Italian American of the Year.
Of the year.
And what did Fatto do?
Well, he said he's looking forward to the camaraderie of the event and how the people of all cultures come together to enjoy it. Okay. He said it's time-tested and brings in thousands of people. He said, quote, that's for a couple of good reasons. The economy here gets a little bit of a boost, it's a little boost, which is good. And for the citizens of Wheeling, this is a very big event, let me tell you. He said, this is the granddaddy of them all. There's so much to enjoy.
He said it.
He said it. There's something for everybody here, and I hope everybody has a great day. It's not just for the Italians by any means. I want everyone to have some food, fun, and I hope you've brought your families.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Fun family.
Food, fun, and family. And they also have food, live music, and a bocce ball tournament, of course. You got to have that. Some of the people performing here, one is Ray Massa's Euro Rhythms, quote, the best Italian-American band in the USA. There's
just wild shit like
big
that.
Picture of him here. Look at fucking fat guy here. It's like Vito from The Sopranos. He's a big
Euro Rhythms
guy. There's all the opening ceremony. We got the Jim Frank combo's going to perform.
Jim and Frank.
The Chillbillies with a Z. I don't know how no one thought of that yet. The Chillbillies. Yeah. That's a great name for a country band.
How is that? Yeah, how did they get that?
That should have been
How's that not trademarked?
A long time ago.
We got Jesus. Diamond Rio, but not Chillbillies?
Chillbillies? That sounds perfect.
Lady Antebellum, but not Chillbillies?
Chill
Come
Billies. On. That sounds, who doesn't want to hang out with the Chillbillies?
So much better.
So much better. Antoinette Manganis will be there. Mm-hmm. The Cavaliers will be there. From 7 o'clock to 8:30 p.m., Spinning Jenny will be performing. But it gets old after a minute. You're like, is she going to?
Yeah.
I guess wow, she can do that.
She's going to spin.
She could do it without getting dizzy. That's pretty impressive. All right, I've seen it, and you walk away, right?
It's a lot of spinning, Jenny.
It's a lot. And then also the Skyliners will be playing. The Nicola Di Sabatiano, who's an accordionist, will be playing as well. No word if she's bringing a monkey or not. Or he's bringing a monkey or not. And then Mickey D, another accordionist, will be playing. So
Mickey D.
Wow, that's what's going on there. There's a lot of like ethnic festivals in Wheeling, like a bunch of different ones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who knew?
Strange. Crime rate in this town, what we are interested in, property crime is right at the average. So not very low crime rate, especially when you talk about violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime, more than double the national average.
What?
I don't know what's going on here, but
they're upset about all the ethnicities, James.
I don't. Yeah, they're pissed off about the Italian festival. They're like, I don't even know what a fucking Zeppeli is. I'm going to stab somebody.
Say cannoli one more time.
What is that? Schweier-Hell? I don't know what that is. I'm violent. I'm feeling violent.
God, that shit is so good.
It is, yes. It's very good. Of course it is. It's terrible for you and delicious.
It's like an Italian croissant.
There's so many good Italian desserts.
Fuck, they're so good.
I don't like cannolis, though. I got to be honest.
What?
I'm one of the few.
Is it the crust? It's
no,
crust, right?
It's too rich, too sweet. I don't like
the custard. Is what drives you nuts?
It's too sweet, man. You know how me with sweets. I'm not a big sweets guy. I'm just not.
Yeah, but
I like a cheesecake that's not very sweet. I don't like sugar that much, like sweet. So I'm
annoyed by a too crispy crust of a cannoli. That's a nightmare when you like go to snap it and then like. It slides either direction off your plate.
So it breaks into 100 pieces. Right. And you have to embed them into the fucking...
Into the custard.
Into the shit and put it in your mouth. Yeah.
I fucking love it.
No good. I like the Italian cookies. They're real light ones that are, not that sweet. That's kind of what I'm into.
Shit.
So let's talk about a murder, all right? Shall we? Or hopefully we'll get to... It's going to be multiple murders no matter what. But
oh, boy.
This is a bloody episode. Okay. Let's talk about a young man who... there's no way other to describe him than just a real asshole. He's just an asshole. I mean, there's people in the world there's a lot of murders that you cover where you go, okay, I don't think that person will ever kill anybody else again, probably. A wife kills her husband kills their wife. Like there's this weird, build up or some business thing where the guy was suing for 5 years and they're fighting and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Then there's people where you go, this guy, I can't believe he hasn't killed 1 million people. Like this guy could be a mass murderer in a heartbeat. Here's the guy, Gerald Wayne Jacko Jr., Jako. So Jaco, probably Jaco Jr. Gerald Jaco Jr. G.
Wow.
Starts first name G, last name J. So Jako Jr. He's born in March 1985. So
young guy,
a young asshole. Yeah, he's still a young guy here. Let's see. Let's catch up with him when he's about 18. Okay. Let's just assume that he wasn't like a straight A student and wasn't being thrown scholarship offers from every corner of the nation. Let's just assume that based on
the Mountaineers are not recruiting him.
No, and we can assume. I'm going to assume he had a pretty hefty juvenile record because that's not available. But his adult record that I got that's available starts like immediately at 18.
Right now?
Like, yeah. right now. Like as soon as he turns 18,
James,
he's going.
That he just sat around. You know when like you're a kid and you're like, today I fucking turn 18, I'm moving out.
I'm going to just go on a crime spree.
Yeah. You don't think he said that?
Maybe. That's, you know what? I can't get in the man's head. So it's possible. He could have just said, my 18th birthday, boy, it is fucking on.
I'm gonna have a day.
I am gonna dominate this place.
Yeah.
He seems to be from Ohio here, because that's where the first Belmont County, Ohio. That's where the first of pretty much all of his early arrests come from. So, in June of 2003, so he's barely 18. He's 18 for a couple months. He is arrested before that in April. So right after he turned 18, he's arrested for 3 counts of theft in Belmont County, Ohio.
Oh.
So we're starting with that. Then in June of 2003, he is arrested for drug possession, falsification, which I think he had false ID on him.
I probably told the cop a wrong name.
And also underage consumption.
Yeah.
So I think he had booze, drugs, and probably had a fake ID where he bought the booze with, and that's what happened. I assume.
I didn't even think about buying the book. Yeah, you're probably right.
That's a possibility there. Or that might have been a different charge. I'm not sure. But it's okay because he doesn't have much time to recover from that because in April of 2004, April 11th of 2004, he's arrested for a couple of things here, drug possession and trafficking drugs as well.
Oh, now he's, okay, 1 year later.
Yeah, 1 year later, he's been 18 for a year, and he's selling drugs. He
graduated to trafficking.
Yep, graduated from just drinking in the streets to I'm going to traffic something. I mean, who knows what it was? He could have had 4 dime bags of weed. We don't know what the hell it was. But either way, he wasn't smart enough to not get arrested for trafficking, which is a problem.
Yeah.
June 1st, 2004, so a couple months later, he's then arrested for burglary and theft as well. Okay, so think about that. It's like a year and 3 months he's been 18 years old, and we already have trafficking, drug possession, dumb shit, consumption by a minor. Now we're up to burglary and theft, which is that's a step up the ladder.
Yeah. And that's likely because it's probably tough to get a job with a trafficking conviction.
With all these court dates looming in the future, it's probably hard to get a job.
So he's likely thinking about how he needs money, and what are you going to do now that you can't get a job? You got to steal it.
You got to steal. Yeah, and the thing is, to burglarize is another step, because if you're just doing drugs or whatever, that can be a pretty victimless crime. Even if you're selling drugs to adults, that's their decision. If they want to do drugs, that's up to them. Again, not really a whatever. But once you get into burglary, now you're breaking into people's places at that point. That's a different story. Stealing shit
generally, a burglary charge is generally stealing from somebody without their knowledge. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty scummy.
And theft as well. So he's charged with. So that is June 1st, 2004. Now, July 19th, 2004, a month later, he is arrested for sale and or furnishing to underage person.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's working at a gas station and sold a kid booze.
Or sold a kid a gallon of gas.
Yeah. It would have to be because he's not 21 yet. So he's underage also. So they couldn't get him for giving liquor to his friend because they're both minors. So it would have to be selling it to somebody. It would have to be he was working somewhere and didn't check an ID or, sold it to his friend probably, more than likely.
Probably, yeah. It's likely a conspiracy of sorts.
Yeah. So that's July 19th, 2004. July 31st, 2004. I don't know if this is got mad at the friend for telling or what, but he's arrested for felonious assault now. 12 days later.
Somebody got caught with the booze.
You told them where you got the 40. Damn it. I told you not to say shit if they catch you with that crazy horse. Fuck. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
His crimes seem very explainable and narratable. You could follow his trail.
just with the arrest record, I can follow this man's trail.
Explain his whole life.
You can watch him escalate.
Yeah.
The escalation is wild. So that is July 31st. That happened, felonious assault. We're just going to assume of the person he sold booze to that told on him.
Probably.
Because that just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
October 21st, 2004. So good for him. He went, 2.5 whole months without getting arrested. That's pretty impressive for this guy.
Pretty good, yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. He's arrested at this point for speeding, driving without a license, not wearing a seatbelt, reckless operation, operating a vehicle under the influence, never having a valid license ever. He just never got one. He didn't. This isn't suspended.
Yeah.
Revoked.
You are ticketed for never getting a license.
You're just driving around.
Yeah.
And also resisting arrest, of course. So
okay, yeah, didn't want to go to jail for this.
Nope. And he's fucked up on something, and
yeah.
So
that's a night.
He's really having quite a night. Now, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to assume after all of this stuff together, he probably got some jail time because
I hope so. Otherwise, West Virginia is the nicest state in all 50.
They're just like, oh, that's all right now. That's okay.
Learning.
He's learning. Yeah, he's learning how. Next time he knows not to resist. But no. And also the court dates, the sale or furnishing to an underage person from a while back, the theft charge from a while back, the felonious assault from July, and all of these things are all done in the same day at court. So,
oh, good Lord.
That's a lot. He's like,
that's embarrassing.
The judges, it was
the same. Like, you have a chance of seeing the same judge.
Yeah.
But this, you're going to see the same judge.
And the judge probably has access to your juvenile records as well.
Yeah.
So he's going, he can see where the trail has gone before that. But even if he doesn't, he can go, well, the moment you turned 18, you've been in this courtroom constantly. So,
if not in this courtroom, you've certainly been in handcuffs a lot.
This is all in a year and a half he did all this shit.
Wow.
Those are so many separate arrests in a year and a half to get all these things. I mean, how many times are you in cuffs, dude?
Salivating for criminal life.
And if he's living in a small town, the cops know him by now. So they just see him. Sure, they go, well, let's go ahead and look at him. He's got something to arrest him for, I'm sure, as he always does.
Hey, Jacko, come here.
Yeah, so I assume he got some jail time because there's no more arrest records that I can find. He may have been arrested more, but as far as slipping through my cracks here, which that doesn't sound good. I don't want anything slipping through my cracks.
You got doubles?
Doubles, babe. The next one is February 27th, 2008. Yeah. Is still in Belmont County, Ohio. Hasn't thought enough of himself to move yet to avoid all the cops who know you. Here he's arrested for no seatbelt, having an open container, and drug possession as well. Yeah. July 1st, 2008, so that's a couple months later, he's arrested for 2 counts of obstruction of justice.
Wonder what he did there.
I don't know if he's withholding information from Congress or what he's doing, but that's what he's arrested for. That can really go from a very small thing to a very big thing.
Yeah. That refused to talk about Balco.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk about Balco, or his friend was getting arrested for being drunk in public, and he went, hey, man, and put his hand on the cop's shoulder.
Let him be.
That's also obstruction of justice. Anywhere from there to lying to a federal body is obstruction of justice.
Aggression will not stand, man. Anywhere from that to Barry Bonds was not taking steroids.
One or the other. So I did not have sexual relations. It's somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
Anywhere you could be in that. So that's July 1st, 2008. Then he's still out. He's still not going back to jail for some reason.
Really?
November 8th, 2008, he is pulled over for running a stop sign. Yeah. And they go, hey, dipshit, you don't have a license. You've never had a license, you stupid shit. Let's arrest you for that. Oh, by the way, you want to take a sobriety test? No, he doesn't. So that is a DUI and a refusal, which is an automatic revocation of his non-existent license. But he's never, ever had.
License?
Yeah. He'll never. He's like, he could go try to apply for a license. He could get one in 15 years. He's got so much penance to serve here to do this. So then finally, November 9th, 2009, so a year later, he apparently gets busted on April 27th, 2009 for possessing a firearm. Okay. This is in Wheeling, and it's possessing a firearm after already having been convicted of aggravated assault. So that's a felony, and you're not allowed to have a firearm now.
Yeah.
So he's arrested, and finally, this is a federal case, the tobacco... ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. They were the investigating body here. By acting United States attorney, announced that Gerald Wayne Jacko Jr. was sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, 63 months in federal prison.
5 years.
Followed by 3 years of supervised release. So
holy,
gotta go see a probation officer, take a piss test type probation.
That is trouble.
That's what he got, yeah, for entering a guilty plea to 1 count of possession of a firearm after having his record. So that's 2009. We don't know how long exactly he served in federal prison. I would hope, a couple of minutes.
Enough time?
Enough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but he ends up, we know for a fact that he's out by September 29th, 2014, because he's arrested again.
Yeah, now, I don't think that's going to stop him.
No, this would certainly be within the window of the supervised release date also. Yeah. So not good. He's on federal probation, and he is arrested for theft, assault, not good, and persistent disorderly conduct. Just he's never orderly. He just refuses to be orderly. If we could give him like a lifetime charge, I believe it would be persistent disorderly conduct.
That seems like personality defect, not just
persistent assholery. Is that a charge? There should be some umbrella charge that is just like you're just a nuisance asshole and we have to put you away. We're tired of this.
We just can't handle you ever.
Just it takes up too many tax dollars to keep arresting you. Like.
Can you be federally adjudicated a tax burden?
Just too much. Yeah, we can't handle it. We can't afford you anymore. Sorry. You're like a puppy that had to be given away because they can't afford the food. Yeah. Like it's just too expensive. Vet bills, don't know what to do.
Yeah. Let's rehome him to the South Pacific somewhere.
It's what like it has
in the
to
middle
be.
On a dinghy.
Yeah. It's what it has to be, it feels like. It's just not I don't understand what the hell is the story with this guy, but we should definitely be able to umbrella charge him with being
you're an adult encumbrance.
A persistent asshole. Yeah, it's just too much. We can't deal with you. Because, otherwise it's all these little ticky-tack charges. How else would you do it? So, September 29, 2014, I told you, theft, assault, persistently a dipshit. But the case is closed due to, quote, unavailability of accused, which to me means that
jail, right?
He's not available to go to local court because he is in federal prison for violating his federal probation. That's what
indisposed. Yeah.
And the feds aren't going to the feds and then West Virginia, neither of them are going to pay to transport a prisoner all the way here to deal with theft, assault, and disorderly conduct charges. It's not worth it for them. So maybe they should have, though, just to add to his umbrella. But we know that he's out by 2018 for a fact. Because he has a very busy month in 2018 that we're going to talk about. July through August is a lot for him. He's arrested on July 24th, 2018.
Okay.
So I assume he probably went back to do the rest of his jail time, which is probably about 3 years. So he's probably out in late 2017, maybe something like that. Yeah. He's arrested for drug abuse. This is the actual official charge. Drug abuse, marijuana, less than 100 grams. So
that's a big window.
Yeah, less than 100, but more than, I'm sure, a small amount. So there you go. Who knows? He had a half ounce on him or something.
More than slap on the wrist, go home.
Yeah, for West Virginia. Then he's out, though, 3 days later. Good for him. Where he is July 27th, 2018, where he is pulled over for making an improper or prohibited turn. And then they find out he's driving with no license, of course, because
every turn's prohibited.
It's every single turn. Every time he turns the key, it's prohibited. Never mind turning the car. Just the key, adjusting the seat isn't really allowed. Turning the
prohibited
wheel.
Turn. I didn't even go anywhere. It was the ignition, sir.
You turned. Yeah, you're not allowed to be here. And then also operating a vehicle under the influence as well, because
of course,
obviously. So
does he operate one sober?
Somehow, even though he has got this gigantic umbrella of assholery.
So many charges.
He was arrested for the weed on July 24th. He was still out July 27th, and then he's still out August 1st. So,
my God,
he's just going in, coming right back out again, which is wild for a guy who's done all this prison time.
And a man who clearly every day on the street is not living the way laws are passed to hope you behave.
No, definitely not. But the problem, I think he still gets bail because they do bail based on if you show up for court
if
hearings.
you'll leave, right.
So there's
a lot
showing up. There's a lot of these persistent criminals that people go, well, how'd they get bail? Because they always show up for court. That's why.
Yeah.
That's how they got bail. That's why you have bail. Otherwise, they wouldn't put any bail on you because you're not guilty yet. You're still innocent until you're proven guilty.
Yeah, right. Bail's not meant necessarily. It is in some regards to protect the public, but generally it's to give somebody the opportunity to be. They're still innocent technically.
That's what I mean. And you can say, there's a lot you can do there with that. There's a big window of what you can do with that kind of shit. Sure. So August 1st, 2018. All right. Let's introduce a guy here. Trevor Whisman, Vossen. Whisman. He's born in 1991, so he's a young dude. I mean, this is a very young dude. He's not even 30 yet here. His parents are Sarah Lynn and Edward Jr. is his dad, and he's got a son also.
Sure.
Named Landon. There you go.
Thank
you. And he's got a brother and a sister, and all of this type of thing. Now, he also has a girlfriend. We'll talk about here. And her name is Lauren Cree Jenkins. Cree-Jenkins. And she goes by Lulu, Lauren does. Everybody calls her Lulu. So Lulu was born in 1990. She's from Wheeling. Her parents are Rodney and Dolores Jenkins here. Sure. And she's got sisters. She's got a brother. And she's currently 5 months pregnant.
Oh, Lulu.
With Trevor's child. So they're pregnant. Now, something happened between Gerald Jacko, our umbrella of asshole, and Trevor Whisman. This was, I guess he got put in jail in 2018, apparently. Whisman did. No. Yeah. Jacko did for a robbery he committed in 2018. So that wasn't even on his list, so I don't even know. But he got arrested for that. He was incarcerated for a while, and apparently Gerald thought that Whisman stole from him while he was in jail.
Oh.
So he was upset with him. So he apparently had just gotten out of jail. He's already been arrested a couple of times, and he's pissed off at him, and he's seeking revenge on Trevor Whisman, this Jacko guy.
Because he went to his house and took some shit from him while he was in.
Stole something. We don't know if he actually stole from him. We have no fucking idea what happened here. Now, what we do know is this isn't a guy that you want to seek revenge on you, it seems like.
Whisman?
Gerald Jacko. Seems like
Jerry Asshole Umbrella? Yeah, he seems like a bad man.
He also seems like he has no fear of incarceration, which is when someone doesn't have fear of consequences, they're a scary person to have mad at you because who knows?
Yeah. I see him floating through the air like Mary Poppins, holding a giant umbrella that has like the print of an asshole on it.
And
that's how he arrived.
And somebody's head on top of the little point that comes out, like why they named Wheeling.
Yeah.
That's how he came into Wheeling. The skull of one of his victims on his little umbrella.
An asshole print umbrella.
Yeah, coming in. Oh, by the way, I haven't showed you
all the wrinkles.
Let me show you a picture of this guy, too.
Oh, dear God, I'm so afraid.
It'll make the umbrella thing seem even sweeter. There he is, Jimmy.
He's got a clown face.
Yep, he's got multiple tattoos on his face.
Yeah.
He's
got clown face tattoos.
Clown face. He's got, this is funny. He's got tattoos on his neck that come all the way up to his chin.
Up to the chin.
Which is fine, except that the big one in the middle that goes all the way from his shirt line up to the top, part of his chin is a big old dollar sign.
Is it really?
It's a big, giant dollar. Yeah, look here. I'll show you. Look closer.
All the rich guys have that tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, had little dollar signs all over his suit.
Negative space shading too. It's
awful.
The dollar sign is skin tone. Everything around it is ink.
Yeah, it's very jaily. It's very jaily.
It screams.
It screams jail. Then around his eyes,
it screams wealthy man.
He looks class is what it really screams. Class.
Looks like he has a tea time around 8 for a foursome.
Well, he got that just in case the country club was being a little twatty with him. He was like, you know what?
I'm rich. Don't worry. Here it is.
Don't worry about it. When I go for my interview, I don't want him to have anything to say. Show exactly who I am.
It's fascinating, the two choices for the diamonds above and below the eyes.
Well, because it goes around his eye.
Yeah.
The tattoo. He's got like a point that comes down, almost like a war paint looking thing.
Yeah.
And then it's tattoo around his eye connecting the two, but it just looks like a line that connects the two.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, on his left side, they don't connect. He's just got a plop of tattoos above his eye and a plop below his eye. So I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Drunk at a frat house.
He looks like he got pinned down and tattooed in jail, is what it looks like. Guys
You're
like,
going to have this.
Draw dumb shit on his face. Fuck this guy. And just like, you want me to rape him? No, just draw dumb shit on him. It'll be way worse.
I'm only good at triangles. Walt, fill them in.
Fill them in, man. Just fill them in. Can you do dollar signs?
I need negative ones.
Holy shit. So he's got a couple of girlfriends as well. We'll talk about them.
What?
Gerald does, of course. He has a couple of girlfriends. Oh yeah, he's got several people willing to do very awful shit for him, which is interesting. One of these women is Dana Marie Bowman, and she's born in 1988. And her house, she has a house in Wheeling Island there.
Yep.
And Gerald, his plan is to lure Trevor Vossen to this house so he can seek revenge upon him. Okay. That's not a quote from him, obviously. He wouldn't say that. I will seek revenge upon him.
I don't feel,
Yeah, I don't think that's what he said.
He likely doesn't speak very well.
So that's what he keeps saying to Dawn that he's trying to do to, basically, I'm going to take these people to your house. Yeah. Then on August 3rd, 2018, Trevor and Lulu are reported missing. By their family.
Both of them?
Both of them are reported missing by the family.
All three of them, really?
Yeah. So what happened to them? We'll find out. Okay. Apparently, I don't know how he did it, but Gerald somehow lured these two to the house, got them to come over. I don't know if it was, hey, we'll squash the beef. This is crazy.
To make up. Yeah.
I know you heard I was pissed off at you, but I'm less pissed than you said. And
let's get matching face tattoos.
Let's do it. Hey, you know what? I can put a dollar sign on you that's going to get you into any country club in this nation. So please, come on over. We'll make it up. So during all of this, Dana Marie Bowman, she is at the house and she's kind of wandering around while our guy Gerald here is with the other two, with Lulu and Trevor in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dana is wandering around, and then she says that she heard 3 shots fired. Yes, we know that there's a 4th shot that's fired as well because there's 4 shell casings, but she says she heard 3 shots fired in her residence, okay? Then she went to the front of the house to compose herself after hearing the gunshots because she heard, because Gerald wasn't saying like, oh man, I'm going to have him over, we're going to have beers, and then, do you have ribs because we're going to barbecue?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to fuck these people up when, this motherfucker tried to steal from me. That's what he was saying. Yeah. So she heard the gunshots. She knew things are bad here. Yeah. She said she came back to the kitchen a little too early, let's just say, or a little too late, one or the other. When she entered the kitchen, she is frozen by the sight of Gerald with a large kitchen knife repeatedly and very, very violently stabbing Trevor in the neck.
Oh, my.
Screaming at him to die like a man. Just because I guess he wasn't dying. He was still sitting up, and he's hacking at him, going, die like a man, motherfucker, fucking screaming at him.
Whoa.
How'd you like to walk into your kitchen and see that?
No.
Huh. I mean, it's like 3 gunshots are enough, but this is it's brutal. Think about you're getting stabbed in the neck. Every time he takes that knife out, there's blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's screaming, die like a man, calling him names and shit.
Yeah.
It's
and
wild.
you gotta imagine you're seeing this, so you're about to experience some pain too.
Well, it's not what she had in mind as what was going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah.
So then Gerald takes Trevor down to the basement, his body. Okay. He kills him, stabs him to death on the floor. After he's finally satisfied that he's dead, he takes him down to the basement. Now, he also found out, too, she said she went to bed that night not expecting to wake up in the morning. She figured that in the night, Gerald would come kill her, probably. Yeah. But she fucking woke up the next day.
Oh, boy.
I was like, that's a surprise. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. At that point, Gerald told her that he's all done. I'm all done.
With what?
And she said, yeah, with what? I saw you kill the dude. And she said, yeah. Gerald said, yes, he's dead, obviously. You saw that. Also, Lulu's dead, too. Don't worry about her. Everybody's dead. All taken care of. Done. Did the changing of the dealers at the casino. Yeah. All done.
But sir, she's pregnant. And it's at 5 months, very obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
That's fucked up.
So he ends up taking the bodies, putting them in these big white plastic bags, like trash bags.
Yeah.
And taking them away from the house. Right. Okay? Now, there is fucking blood everywhere.
Everywhere.
On multiple floors. It's just it's a horror scene, this house, as you can imagine. 2 people brutally murdered and dragged around. Now, he goes to an abandoned house in southern West Virginia that we'll talk about here.
Yeah.
And a neighbor near the house saw that there was a guy that he didn't know that he identifies as Gerald due to distinctive dipshit face tattoos.
Incredibly
you can
identifiable man.
Yeah, he's literally there's nobody else with a giant $sign and those stupid eye tattoos at the same time. Yeah. They don't exist on any other human except for this fucking idiot. So if you're going to be a criminal, blend. Think ahead of time. Don't get distinctive tattoos.
Yeah.
Keep your hair on normal. Look as normal as you can. Man. No. Look as normal as you can. Blend in.
Yeah. D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
There's a reason Carlo Gambino died quietly in his house and not in prison because he blended right in, real quiet.
Didn't look like a criminal.
Nope. So this person, the neighbor, called the police and reported somebody, quote, that there's a, quote, pile of obviously burned material on a concrete pad in the backyard of the house.
Okay.
Gerald was burning things back there.
On a concrete pad.
On a concrete path. Now, he also at some point recruits another guy who we never find out who the fuck it is. There's somebody else involved here.
Okay.
Who he forces, I'm sure this guy doesn't, if he requests something from you, you know that it's probably not a request. Yeah. You need to do it.
Or you die, obviously.
Or you die.
Yeah.
He said, I need help with something. I need you, could you come on down here? I know it's a pain in the ass. Get in the car. I need you to help dismember a couple of people with saws if you can do that. One of them's a pregnant lady, too, so we're going to really, it's going to be a banner day.
Or I die, obviously, so sure, I'll be
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So he does that. He dismembers their bodies with a saw into many, many parts. We don't have an exact number of parts.
Really?
But it's not below the knee, and it's like a lot of parts. Yeah, because he wants them.
Judging by the gal's ability to count to 4, their counting isn't going to be good.
No, probably terrible. Yeah, I don't trust her at all. Can't trust her bullet count. I doubt you can trust anything.
4.
I heard 3, and
you missed.
I don't know. He might not even have been saying "die like a man." He could have been saying anything. We can't trust her.
He could have said, "I love the movie Mannequin." Yeah, she doesn't know.
She's like, "Oh man," he said he liked. I mean, if you say you like Mannequin too, obviously that's a crime in itself. But
Meshat Taylor,
he's great. So
he's great.
So he does this. By the way, even the police say this other man was forced into helping. There was no...
Yeah, it's help.
It wasn't hey, buddy, come on over. It was, you get over here or you're next type of shit.
Right.
So 2 days later now, so he dismembers the body and has the body sitting there all dismembered, okay?
Yeah.
Loads them back in white plastic garbage bags.
Yeah.
And then drives the remains further south outside of Beckley, West Virginia, to a place on Sullivan Road. Seems like it's in the town of Coal City. Literally, Coal
C-O-A-L?
City. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is at the very far down there as far as southern West Virginia, nowhere near here.
Okay.
Now, in all of this, when the cops were called to come investigate the burning, they found in the burn pile bones, blades, like saw blades.
Oh, boy.
And shell casings all found in the burn pile. Who thought that saw blades and shell casings would fucking disappear in a fire?
Yeah, you ever been camping before?
Yeah.
I mean, in those fire pits that are left out there are shit piles of cans.
There's a
they don't go anywhere.
Can sitting there.
And that's thin-ass gauge metal.
That is aluminum. That's barely...
Yeah, that's not brass.
No, that's not a saw blade. A saw blade is steel.
Yeah.
You're not.
Gauge.
It's tempered already. You're not going to fucking melt it from burning it unless it's really...
it was created with fire.
Yeah. I could see, let's say you're dumb and you don't understand the actual temperature. Let's say you're...
James, are you telling me that man, you see his face and you don't assume...
Let's say you're a moron who's been getting arrested constantly ever since handcuffs could fit around your wrists. Till they didn't just slide off because you were too small.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're that idiot. And you think that I can build a campfire and bones will burn because they cremate people. So that's fire. This is fire. All fire's fire.
Yeah.
They don't realize that one fire is like 500 degrees and one is like 3,000 degrees. They don't realize there's a different temperature there. Let's say you're an idiot, okay?
Yeah.
That's one thing. You're a moron. You don't understand that. But to not get that a fucking tempered steel saw blade will not burn in a fire, and that your shell casings are going to be there afterwards.
Yeah.
You're dumb enough to put a giant $sign tattoo on your throat. That's how dumb you are.
What do you got, black triangles on your face or something?
Yeah, what do you got? Non-tribal, tribal-looking shit? Like, it's one thing if you're, like, from an island and you were you got these to show you were a fucking man or whatever.
Which tribe you're in.
He's from Belmont County, Ohio. He's just a white dude from Belmont County, Ohio who looks like an asshole.
He's certainly showing what tribe he's a part of.
Oh, God, yes, a dumb one.
The ignorant one.
The dipshit tribe. Another thing that was there, a black bag is found nearby that contains, this is perfect, contains both Vossen and Lulu's fingerprints on it. Just to put them together of who's there.
The one thing that's easily incineratable.
One thing. No, that's not.
Very flammable thing, man.
Tried with the saw blade, but not the bag.
They've got their fingerprints now. Wow.
That is fucking amazing. This is behind. They also later on will find bones and burn material behind an abandoned house on South Huron Street in Wheeling Island, which is, we believe, Dawn's house that later on she took off from. So they said that this house that they went to, because Bowman's going to end up telling on him here. Because
I was just going to say, man.
Dawn is freaked out. She does not like this at all. So when they go to talk to her, she goes, oh, my God, he was saying, die like a man. And blah, 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 blah. I'm sure she just spilled it all.
Right.
So they said that when they walked in the house, they didn't think that anything had happened in the house because it had been so thoroughly cleaned. They said
what?
Yes, the reason why they found all the burn shit behind the house that didn't have anything to do with the victims is because this is a quote from the police. Quote, she burned some of the flooring that she removed from the kitchen. She removed the flooring and burned it.
She's an excellent housekeeper.
That is fucking impressive. Yes.
Wow.
That's like if Mike Brady killed Carol, Alice would do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
tidying up
a little bit here. And then replace them as well as clothing and other items that were used to clean up. Anything used in the cleanup, everything. She burned everything.
She dropped a new floor in the house?
Listen to this. And then she took some of those floorboards and threw them over the hill in front of her house into a small ravine as well. Uh-huh. They said she did all this work on her own, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, didn't do it. And no one helped her. She just did flooring work on her own. She just went and got a bunch of flooring and repatched it in and did all
Dawn
that
the builder. She is incredible.
That is fucking impressive. They said a small piece of bone from the pile will eventually be sent from the second pile where the people were to the Smithsonian Institute of Anthropology to find out who the fuck it is, because this is 2018. Yeah. We can find out who you are from the bone fragment now.
Yeah.
So they said also in this burn pile at Bowman's residence now, the other burn pile, were parts of a blue moving type blanket. You know, those big U-Haul blankets.
Diamond stitched ones.
Yeah. Parts of the blanket were also identified in the burn pile down in Coal City and the other place. So there's all three places where there's burned stuff pieces
tied
of burned
together
blanket
with
are
those
all there.
dense blankets that do not burn.
They're meant not
those
to
things
burn.
Those are so thick.
Anything else you want to put in there, like a fireman's suit? You want to see if that goes? What else do you want to see if it
Emergency blanket, some tinfoil, perhaps.
Do diamonds burn? Is that how you get them into that shape? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So there's a car that he was seen driving, and we'll talk about where he was seen driving because he's seen driving on film. Yeah, he is really fucked. He's really not a good criminal here. He's driving a Jeep Liberty, and the owner of the Jeep Liberty was a woman named Holly Mills, who is the wife of his best friend.
Yeah, and now everybody knows she drives a piece of shit.
She drives a piece of shit Liberty.
Poor Holly.
That's nice, too, your friend. How would you like, okay, you're the friend. And he probably just said, borrow my wife's car because it's big enough. And now she's like, you let this guy take bodies in my car.
In my liberty?
In my only,
As if I couldn't hate that car already, and I can't afford another one, and now you put bodies in it.
Did he at least take the car seats out first, or do they have viscera on them now? What can we do?
Now the cops are going to want that car.
Shit. So she received, I guess, there was text messages from Gerald's other girlfriend, Samantha England.
Wow.
That England, she had texted this girl with the Liberty and told her that she herself, Samantha England, had to, quote, get up to Wheeling to help him clean up a mess.
At his other girlfriend, this man.
Yes.
How does he do it?
This is wild.
How does he do it?
It's the tattoos around the eyes. It's hypnotizing.
Fuck, they love him, huh?
So using the vehicle, he loaded up personal belongings from the house and asked Mills, the girlfriend there with the Jeep, to follow him from Wheeling all the way down to Beckley.
Wow.
That's where in Beckley's where he cut it up and then he dumped him. Okay, so that's how this goes. Now, August 14th, 2018, there's a guy named Jeffrey Browning who is on a rural area off of Sullivan Road near Coal City, and he's looking for firewood to heat his home.
Oh, God.
So this guy's like, it's going to be cold, and it's August. So, I mean, I don't know if he's saving up for winter. Yeah. So he ends up coming across the burned remains of two human beings here in a pretty brutal way, looking for firewood. Yeah. He's like, I don't think that'll burn. Oh, is this a saw blade? Everyone knows saw blades don't burn. So the West Virginia Medical Examiner's Office works with the Raleigh Sheriff's Office here trying to figure out who the fuck these people are. And it's bones and charred remains found along the road near Coal City, West Virginia. They said the bodies were discovered chopped into many pieces. It was very, very brutal. It was very gruesome. Very little remained in terms of being able to gather clues.
That is so fucked up.
It's so at some point, he just gave up in the burning and was like, that's as much as it's going to burn in a campfire.
And just ditched it.
Because there's bones, and then there is like chunks that were obviously attempted to be burned but still have flesh on them that are charred.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking horrific, man. It's absolutely horrific. It's sickening. I see you covering your mouth there, and I'm going to throw up. It's gross.
Vile. I just saw it in my head. I know what this poor guy.
He's looking for wood, for Christ's sake. This poor bastard is like thinking months ahead of heating his house. That's how, he's not in great shape here, and this is what he discovers. This can send him over the edge, this poor guy.
I was looking for an ash. I found ash, and it's the wrong kind.
Wrong kind. Oh, God. So the remains were sent to the Smithsonian Institute's National Museum of Natural History, Department of Anthropology in Washington, D.C. In Wheeling, they find out that they found a missing person that was from Wheeling down there, two missing people. And the only thing they can't figure out is Vossen, his vehicle's never found, ever. Never found. It's a white two-door 2002 Honda Accord with a West Virginia license plate, 73K986. It went missing the same time he went missing, and it's never, ever, ever found.
Never found.
Never found.
Two-door Accord.
A two-door. Now, I don't know if he has connections. Well, he probably has. If he knows somebody with a chop shop, that's all I can imagine. If he's this much of a career criminal, he probably knows where to offload a car. You know what I mean?
If he can take apart people, he can certainly take apart an Accord.
Or knows somebody who knows how to pop the trunk off. So they said that was one of the things the cops really wanted to find, because if you can find a vehicle, there's obviously physical evidence in vehicles sometimes, and you can get a lot out of that. So the Wheeling police chief said a young man and a young woman were murdered and dismembered. It's time to do the right thing. Someone out there knows about this and has information, but has not discussed that with investigators. Now is the time to do so. Do the right thing.
Yeah.
So it's at this point where Dawn comes forward.
Bowman,
and says, fuck, I got to tell you some stuff here. They say that the bones that were discovered had straight edges that indicated dismemberment, along with a very powerful saw, if you can cut them straight. Yeah, because that's not a hand saw would leave.
Right.
You're not
it would leave
smooth.
some grooves.
It's a power saw, like a circular saw. Thing.
Either that or like a fucking Sawzall.
Or a Sawzall, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Something that's going to cut it smooth. Even a Sawzall, I feel like you're probably going to leave.
If it gets into the groove, though, it'll
yeah, that's true. It'll
super smooth. It does, the blade does bounce, but if you get it into the meat part of the leg, I imagine it'll go real
right
smooth, real fast. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. That's well, I mean, in our experience, it has anyway, right? I mean,
in the past,
yeah, in the past. I mean, whenever I'm dismembering a corpse, I'm just,
I cut a bathtub in half with one like fucking butter. That's all I know.
So a leg, it'll probably work. I would assume. Probably. Well, bones are hard though. So the other thing that helped in the identification of these two people is that at this site, along with the charred bones and remains, are also his glasses, Vossen's glasses.
Boy.
So they were like, well, these are his glasses.
Yeah,
so that's a helpful one there.
That's
Tell me there's somebody that has glasses that don't have a fingerprint on them. You know what I mean?
Oh, God. All over the lens.
All over the place. So the photos are taken at the burn pit where the dismembered bodies were set on fire of Vossen and Jenkins. And they also detailed multiple tools found at the site as well.
Oh, boy.
So that's interesting. Now, the inside of the house, they said, of the murder scene, they said you might not have imagined that a murder occurred in this house due to the lengths taken to clean up the crime scene. In addition to the replacing floorboards, they repainted the walls, or she did anyway, Dawn did, repainted the walls, spackled holes left in walls by bullets. She did it all. She's like fucking handy as shit over here.
She does drywall and flooring.
Yeah. I don't know how to spackle, really. I don't know how to put that shit together.
It's very obvious if I've done it.
You're going to see it. You're going to go, wow, how many bullet holes were in these fucking walls? But she spackled and then repainted.
That's unbelievable. That means she primed and painted. Good for her.
So the problem is, even if you do go to these extreme lengths, she didn't just go around with some wipes and get some shit up. Even if you go to these extreme lengths, it's really hard to get everything. Because
everything is not going to happen.
It's not like it was just one gunshot and one way. There was 4 gunshots, and then also just brutal, almost cutting a man's head off with a kitchen knife. Right. Blood everywhere. So they said that cadaver dogs indicated a spot of blood on a cabinet in the house.
Wow.
That they ended up finding. When the cabinet was sprayed with luminol, they found blood there. And they said it was the lower part of the cabinet as well as the cabinet doors. When they started spraying it around there, they found a lot more blood.
Yeah, where it's cooled.
She, I guess, cleaned it up and thought it was clean. She just wiped it off and said, well, it's all the way down there. No one's going to see that.
There's a protein in there, Terry. You can't get that out.
Nope. They said another spot in between a pipe going down to the basement. So.
Oh, it went so far, it hit the pipe and traveled.
And went down the pipe because there'll be a hole in the floor where the pipe comes from in an old house, and that's where it does. It drips down. They said they swabbed that, and that also tested positive for blood.
Shit.
So they were like, there's fucking blood everywhere, and they think that was where Jenkins was shot. They think that was her blood over there. And then in the cabinet, they think that was Vossen's blood. So anyway, after he dismembers these bodies, he hops in that Jeep Liberty, borrows it. There's a video of him at a toll booth with a large plastic bag in his back seat. A large bulging plastic bag full of body parts in his back seat right on the video at the toll booth. You can see it right behind him. So he's got, not even in the trunk, in his back fucking seat, just his corpses cut up, burned.
He's got that face displayed in the driver's window and a bag in the back seat. The first thing you think is, that's a body.
Just like a sack of White Castle sitting back there, just got a bunch of sliders in a bag. Instead,
I don't think he's headed to Goodwill to donate clothes.
No, he's going to the big box in a parking lot. He's going to go drop off all the old kids' clothes there. He said, well, you know what? I am just hungry,
Oh, boy.
All this dismemberment and driving around with bodies really makes you peckish. So I'm going to go ahead and stop at the St. Clairsville Mall and go to the Steak and Shake.
Stop it.
Because I need meat right now.
I can't imagine. Those fries are pretty legit. But
they're all right, but it's okay.
A burger? You're going to eat meat
He's going to go eat meat like he's, So
wow.
That's fucking wild. They found this is the toll booth between Charleston and Beckley. Another angle of the same toll booth video, by the way, showed the trash bag stored in the vehicle. It can be seen through the sunroof of the Jeep because it's the above one, so they can see in through the sunroof and through the side here. The police will say that they found it incredibly cold on his part that he stopped for dinner at the Steak and Shake. Later on, the prosecutor will say not only did he stop for dinner, he went inside with his car stinking and smelling of what was in it. He went inside. He went in and sat down. He's like, I might want a refill on this fucking Fanta, so I got to sit here.
I got to get my money's worth. It's free refills.
Wow. He said Jacko sat down. He had a meal with Miss Mills and Samantha, his girlfriend. He took...
Hold the fuck on.
Yes, he took Samantha, his girlfriend, who wasn't the girl in the house. She's busy ripping up floorboards and turning into Bob Vila over here.
She's got to punch in, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, she's watching HGTV in the background. At least it's 2018.
She got her square and her fucking her chop saw out.
I've seen so many Renault shows. I am on top of this, she said. I was going to get white cabinets anyway, so this is good. So he then also brought his friend's girlfriend, too, or the wife of his wow. Okay. While his car sat in the parking lot next to whoever could have smelled it. Anybody could have been next to it. You're going to smell it's burnt flesh.
And blood.
And blood.
You can't not smell that.
Do you think the scent of fast food overwhelmed it, though? Honestly, French fries and
they do serve
burgers.
Yeah. The Steak and Shake serves those fries or the onion straws on their burgers too. Yeah. So there's onions in the air. Fries, forget it.
Also, if you smell charred meat and you're at a burger place, you assume somebody's cooking something in there. Who knows? Yeah. So that's what I would do anyway. But that's cold blood. He said, come on inside. And that they all sat and had a meal in the place. Gross. Acting casual as fuck, okay? Yeah. They said that's the kind of person that he is. Emotionless, cold-blooded, and a killer. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Bad man.
I got to be honest, James. I'm afraid of those chicks, too.
I'm afraid of all the chicks in this story. Are you kidding me?
Those chicks are dangerous.
Yeah, one knows how to spackle over her shortcomings, which I'm afraid of, number one.
She knows how to spackle over murder.
That's scary. This other chick his girlfriend doesn't mind that he was not only hanging out with another woman, but killing people at her house.
Yeah.
You think... Like, if you hung out with another woman at her house, wouldn't Emily be like, why were you over there? Sarah would be like, who the fuck are you hanging out with? No less
James,
killing people over there. You trust her to kill in front of her? You guys must be fucking.
If it's my car that you're borrowing, I'm riding the passenger seat. That girlfriend is also riding in the back seat.
With the bodies.
With the bodies.
Yeah.
She's dangerous.
Well, she is dangerous, as we'll find out, Samantha England. Oh, yeah. So then they find in the car DNA evidence linking everybody to the car.
Of course.
So there's no excuses there. So they have him obviously dead to rights.
We got you on video in and out of the car. We've got the body on video in the car.
So they know that it's clearly, that these are the suspects they're looking for.
Yeah.
But they don't know where they are right away.
Why?
Until they're found doing this. Okay. This is August 19th, 2018, about a week after the bodies are found. This is the State Line Cafe, which is, quote, a gambling parlor in Ohio County. It's one of those it's one of those little casinos like in the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia where there's people like shirtless playing slot machines.
Well, a really terrible band plays.
Yeah, well, a bad band plays. It's just a little gambling joint. And they keep the front doors locked. This is how classy this place is. They keep them locked like it's a fucking brothel, and they buzz you in.
Password style.
They just buzz you in when you come to the door. So they look out, make sure you're not wearing a mask and holding a fucking .45 automatic, and then they let you in.
Or a badge.
No, this is legal. There's legal. It's legal gambling. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a legal business, the State Line Cafe here. It's not like a backroom business. There's slot machines
it's just out in the open. It's just we don't want unsavories in here. Just unsavory to a certain level.
Which you can't, like I said, unless they have a ski mask and a .45, how do you know who's planning what? You have no fucking idea.
You're letting this guy in?
You look at him, you go, oh, God, no. He's the guy you wouldn't let in. So there are no standards, we figured out. Okay. No. But no, I guess it's locked. There's a woman named Shauna Cobb who's the only person working there at the moment. She controls who enters the joint.
One person on shift.
One. It's
Very safe.
It's 11:30 p.m., so I guess things are slowed down.
What's the point?
One person on shift, okay? So there's a buzz at the door, and Shauna Cobb looks out and sees Samantha England is standing out there just by herself. So she unlocks the door. Samantha England enters. England plays some slots for a while, does some machines, does her thing, and then gets up to leave. When she gets up to leave, you can open the door yourself to get out.
Yeah.
As she opened the door to get out, here comes Gerald Jacko through the door. So this is all a plan. It's all a big setup. She opens the door, lets him in. Not only him, but also another man, Jeremiah Dunn. They rush in wearing masks and gloves.
Oh, boy.
So this is what I mean. This lock the door thing is really pretty pointless. So you just have to have a plan to let the person in, just to open the door. It's easy. Masks and gloves, and one held a gun while Jacko held a machete over his head.
Is that right?
Masked, gloved, coming in, one gun, one giant machete going, give us the money, bitch. This is crazy.
Oh, boy.
This is terrifying, obviously.
Yeah.
He points a gun at her. They point a gun and the machete. He's holding it up. I'll chop you. Shauna Cobb opens the cash register and leads them to the cafe safe. They then tie her up with zip ties and duct tape.
Yep.
And leave her there. And the three of them, Jeremiah Dunn, Gerald, and Samantha, all leave, making off with about $6,000, which is not a bad haul.
It's certainly you can eat dinner.
Yeah, you're okay, but
that's not going to stretch. You're going to have to.
You're not
going
to retire.
Again.
You're not going to go to fucking. Let's go down down Mexico
cut
way and
ways,
retire
James?
here. Yeah, with $2,000 a pop. So this is how dumb these people are. Again, if they weren't so fucking dumb, they might be killing people right now. So after they left, this woman who was left behind, the Shauna Cobb, the woman who works there, she noticed that Samantha England left her purse next to the machine she was gambling at.
That's a big red flag.
Left her fucking purse in there with not only her ID in it, but also Gerald's ID is in there too. That's how fucking stupid can you be?
She's about to die.
It's one thing to leave fingerprints or DNA. They left their identification with their fucking purse next to it. You can't get any dumber than that.
Yeah. The whole point of fingerprints and DNA is to get identification.
Yeah.
If you circumvent that whole process for us,
just skipped it all. That's why it's probably for the best. It's like, I don't know if it's Darwin or whatever, that dumb people commit the most crimes. Thank fuck. Because imagine if only smart people killed, there'd be so much less catching of people if it wasn't for dummies like this. So they end up 3 days later, they capture Gerald, Samantha, and Jeremiah Dunn as well. And they're going to be indicted on first-degree robbery and presentation of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
Oh boy,
these are not good charges to have.
No, those are 40-year sentences,
especially with a history of robbery and burglary and assault and violence. All of this is bad. It's even worse that Samantha flips on him.
Uh-oh.
Yep. She decides she's going to flip. She reaches a plea agreement with the state in July 2019. Under that agreement, she will testify against Gerald at his trial in exchange for a recommendation of, this is what she's doing this for. Okay, this is her prize. A recommendation of a 40-year incarceration. She's doing this to only get 40 years.
Yeah, she knows very well what the stakes are in this game.
Wow. No recommendation for a gun-specific finding. In other words, no aggravator with the gun. And a dismissal of the second count of the indictment. So 40 years is what she's making a deal for here. The two of them attended a pretrial hearing together. This is just for the robbery, by the way. They still don't know about, they're still putting the pieces together of the murder. They don't know he did that yet.
Okay. They're
not positive.
You son of a bitch.
During this hearing where Samantha, sorry. Samantha and Gerald are there. During this hearing, it's reported that she has made a deal with the prosecution, is going to testify against him.
And now they know.
He looks over like, are you fucking kidding me? They're in the same court.
Yeah.
Also that she had made a lengthy statement implicating him, which they had recorded. So they're like, we have this long thing. She's already done it, all this shit. So 10 days later, she appears for her plea hearing. And before the hearing begins, they're just about to start, she turns to her attorney and says she doesn't want the plea anymore.
Why not?
She doesn't want it. So she said that they had a conversation, her attorney, and she agreed to speak with the assistant prosecutor as well about it. Yeah. She told her attorney and the assistant prosecutor that she would not testify against Gerald.
Okay.
When they said, well, are you afraid of him? She said, absolutely and definitely were her two responses. Terrified.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. She said, quote, I just can't do it. I won't testify against him. So the court at the time found that she made these decisions knowingly, intelligently, and without the threat or coercion of force or duress. Okay. It's threat from him, but not from the state. So that's not their problem. If you don't want to take the plea, then I guess you're going to fucking trial after telling us what you did like an idiot. So
yeah.
That wasn't in some kind of pre-proffer. That was during evidence that they can use.
You did this.
Yeah. It wasn't like beforehand they do a proffer session where you'll say everything you did, but they're not allowed to use any of it.
Okay. Under the circumstances of it, we will use it only if this.
If you agree to this. Yeah. You tell us what you know, we'll offer you what we offer you. And if you don't accept it, then we can't use what you told us, and that's that. Got it. So that's how that goes. Or we can't use any info you gave us to lead to anything else or anything. It's just it's called Queen for a Day, they call it. You're allowed to be.
Okay.
I can tell you all the horrible things I've done, and it's perfectly fine.
We will all eat cake.
Yeah, we'll all eat it. So the phone calls from jail come up now. Why are you afraid of him? Well,
what did he say?
We have a lot of phone calls with their exact conversation, so let's talk about it because it's fucking hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
It's golden.
I can't wait to hear this.
So these are phone calls he made to her that were these are phone calls. I'm sorry, there's phone calls he made to Dawn Bowman now.
Okay.
That were previously used, but his defense attorney argues that there was no prominent no prominent signage near the phones that he used saying that his calls could be monitored. So that means he didn't know.
What?
Meanwhile,
you're not at your house, man.
No, there's signs everywhere, and when you get on the phone, there's a voice that tells you this call is monitored by it's not hidden at all. They don't tell you this is a fucking outside line, everything's cool, talk at will. It's not what it says there. You're monitored, stupid. That's it.
Don't worry, this one's clean.
Period. Jesus Christ. It's all clean.
In fact, if it said that...
This is our clean phone, everybody.
If it
Drug
said
deals,
that,
things like that.
You should know.
This is the place to do it.
100% that's taped.
This is very taped. So they said that he would have definitely known that inmate calls are monitored. Since when they come in, they sign paperwork in the beginning. And that is that part saying they understand that. There's signs of recordings located by the phones and an audio warning on the line telling them and the other people that they're talking to that these can be monitored and are monitored. So he made a call to Dawn in 2018 to coerce her into not pleading guilty to a crime, thereby allowing him to avoid a robbery conviction. This is from another thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I guess they're talking about while he tried to say don't let these into court because there was signs surrounding the phones that may have been defaced that said the calls are monitored. Okay. So because inmates, put graffiti on them, you don't know anymore.
Somebody scratched their street name into it, so now you can't read it.
Yeah. The judge found, though, that the requirement for the state to check that the written notices are in place and not defaced every minute of every day is an impossible burden.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why every call has the audio thing. It doesn't matter. Yeah. They said signs can be temporarily tampered with, defaced, or destroyed, but in the Division of Corrections repairs or replaces the signs that are damaged, so it should be fine and it's okay. Yeah. Now, calls he made to Samantha England here, they were both housed at the North Central Regional Jail.
Same jail.
And he was at the North Central Regional Jail, and she was at the Northern Regional Jail, which are different jails.
Two different jails.
That's not confusing or anything.
Fucking West Virginia.
We sending him to North Regional? No, we're sending him to Northern Regional, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
Assistant 2.
What the? Jesus, that's terrible. So they obtained recordings of these jailhouse phone calls and discovered that Gerald was not happy with her plan, Samantha England's plan to testify against him.
Oh.
On July 23rd of the next year, 2019, he told a third party during a telephone call that Samantha England's plea agreement was bad news and that he, quote, needed to keep in contact with his bitch.
Yeah.
He said, I got to keep in contact with my bitch to keep her from testifying against me.
Yeah.
Is what he said. So
it's bad news.
Yeah. Otherwise, he said, quote, she gets weak. And when she gets weak, she starts telling lies on me.
Uh-huh.
That was his quote. He said, I'm her source of strength. Without me, she'll just crumble and give in to whatever.
Yeah.
So later that day, he arranged with this guy that he's talking to on the phone to merge calls with her. We've seen this a couple times.
Because he's there, yeah.
They do three-way calls so inmates can talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a three-way call where he's involved in and they talk to each other here. So on the first of these three calls, by the way, or I think there might be more actually, Samantha said that she was told to call the number and told the third party she wanted to talk to Gerald at least twice a day.
Oh.
So when Gerald joined the call, he told Samantha that he could be anything she wanted him to be if she was only loyal and honest and true to him.
What?
I could be anything you want me to be from a separate jail cell if you just agree to sit in your jail cell for the rest of your life, and we'll be all we can be together.
In the army.
Yeah, fucking idiots. So he made other statements such as, I quote, I told you that I would never leave you unless you were disloyal. That is the one line that you cannot cross and come back from. At one point, he said, you're so twisted. You think it's a good thing. Then you run your mouth when I'm upset. That's hood rat thinking.
Is it?
It's hood rat thinking. Is it? That's what I mean. I don't know what he's talking about.
This is very, it's just saying
she's a hood rat.
Yeah.
She's taken 40 years. I don't know what you're...
That's a down woman right there.
Yeah,
Jesus
no shit.
Christ.
It took
She'll
a while.
do anything. Yeah.
Then he said, it's your job to submit to your husband and not to run your mouth. They're not married, by the way.
Who's her husband?
Him, apparently.
Where's he at? He maybe could have saved this whole mess.
Fuck, yeah, where's he? He's going to be really pissed when he hears about all this. Not only was she fucking around, but wow, what a fucking... Wow. And then he said, running your mouth is stupid. It's not good. It's destructive, and you run your fucking mouth all the time. I know who you are. You're driving a wedge between us, or there will be no us. That's what he said. Then the next day, he changes his tone completely.
Yeah, because he had some time to sleep on it.
And he's a manipulator. That's the thing.
Yeah, but also, haven't you ever had a fight with a girl, James? You fall asleep, and then you gotta...
But he actually needs some shit from her.
Yeah.
So this is more like a compliment sandwich or a negative compliment sandwich at like a review at work. Like, listen, you're coming in late all the time. Your quarterly report was excellent, blah, 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 blah. Also, could you not, fucking yell at that one guy for making popcorn and stinking the whole office up? It's one of those things.
Take the plea.
Please. So he confronted her, and now he says he loves her.
Oh, yeah.
And says, quote, is there anything you want to come clean about?
What?
Yeah. She responded that she hadn't done anything. And then he said, yeah, you have. You're lying, and I know things.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, boy. She said that, quote, the only thing I've done to you is what you heard in court on Friday, and that's something I regret, saying I would testify against you.
Yeah, that's one part. That's really bad.
She then said, this is amazing. I'm not supposed to do that. In the Bible, not supposed to do that.
Babe,
a man is not supposed to open his mouth. Okay.
You rode next to a dead couple
in the back seat playing fucking Candy Crush on your phone.
A bagged
2018
dead couple.
Could have been Angry Birds, for Christ's sake.
The Bible.
What does it say in the Bible about busting into a casino with masks on and zip tying somebody's mother on the floor and stealing money from them? What does it say about that in the Bible? I don't remember that part.
The single lady employee with a machete and a pistol.
I'm not a biblical scholar or anything, but I don't remember hearing much about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have heard something.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, not supposed to open. A man is not supposed to open his mouth, she said, which is she's putting her in that.
But what about you, gal?
How about you? Later, she assured him that she was, quote, not going to do anything stupid and that she's got him. I got you.
Yeah,
and then she said that she loves him also. I love you. I got you. I won't say anything stupid. The Bible forbids me. And we all know in this relationship, we follow the Bible to the letter of the word, obviously, with all of our... Clearly, that's all in there.
The Bible.
The Bible. Yeah. Wow. He would... These conversations are bonkers because he would go from, yeah, you know, I love you. I'll fucking kill you if you say anything, but I don't want to kill you because I love you. Like, he'd do shit like that.
Yeah.
Real manipulative, weird shit. Assurances of love, and then also saying, stop running your mouth. Here's some examples from that. Quote, Sam, you know I love you too. I do the right thing by you every day. Maybe when I was in that one chick's house killing people, that wasn't exactly great, but, you know, every other day.
Yeah.
I could reach out.
Everybody has a bad day, James.
Everybody has a bad day. Then I love you. I do the right thing by you every day. Then this is a threat. Quote, I could reach out to different people and shit, and I don't.
I can have you killed.
I can have you killed in jail. That's the right thing I'm doing by you, is letting you
every
breathe.
day I let you live.
Jesus Christ. Nobody appreciates what Gerald does. Nobody appreciates Gerald. Thanks a lot. I'll just sit here with my fucking head up my ass, not being appreciated.
I could come in with my asshole print umbrella.
It's fine.
And I don't.
He said, I don't want to talk to other people unless it's you. I don't ever want to be the reason you shed tears. Don't make me be the reason.
Don't make me make you cry.
Yeah, oh, my God. Then he said, if you can't stop yourself from doing this hood rat shit, then you can't be with me because you're going to put me in bad situations. What are you threatening? She can put you in jail forever, immediately.
Forever.
That's it. Then he says, please, for once, be real. She's not. Wow. Okay. Tell me right now if you're capable or if you're not willing to be what I want. Maybe you're not the one. You continually do this shit that I can't accept. I need you to be honest. Are you or are you not the one?
What one?
You know what? Let's refer to the Bible and see if there's anything in there about this.
This is fucking Highlander.
Wow. He also said that he encourages her to remain silent, saying that, this is amazing, quote, the devil is going to use you, Sam, and get to me because I'm too fucking powerful to get at.
Oh.
The devil is going to use her to get to him. Can't get to me.
Because I'm stronger than Satan.
Yeah. I'm too powerful, and he knows it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like he leaves Jesus alone. Right. You know, his other Buddha, he's not fucking with him.
Yeah.
A lot of people he's not fucking with.
Fiddle. Yeah.
It's me right in that whole thing. I'll do it. See, he knows. He's seen me.
Devil went to Georgia because I scared his ass out of West Virginia.
So I scared him out of Wheeling. That's why.
The head on the pike, that was me for the devil. I was letting him know.
This is fucking
This
amazing.
is the last guy that played the fiddle with me.
See him? There he is. So there they are. She says that, okay, I guess I won't testify against you.
Is that her choice now? Yeah.
I guess, yeah, she's not going to testify.
So those are the calls that led her to say, I don't want to do it anymore?
I don't want to do it anymore, yeah. He said, listen, you can't be a hood rat.
Yeah.
Cut the hood rat shit out. I let you live every fucking day. I could have you stabbed in the shower.
So when's the last time you said something sweet like that to
That's
your
what
wife?
I mean. It's like, I could have you raped with broomsticks, but I have chosen not to. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking
could have your throat cut in the shower and have it all run down the drain, and here I am with you talking nicely, telling you I love you. Fucking
here I am eating the
really
dinner
ungrateful
that you made
bitch.
Yeah, truly. You're breathing air.
Ungrateful bitch, man.
Fucking ungrateful.
So on August 20th, 2019, the court, after hearing all of these calls, and I'm sure just, holding in laughter, they decided that they're going to allow the admission of these recorded statements to be they're going to allow not only the phone calls to be played, but rather, because she won't testify now, and because they're saying he coerced her into not testifying and threatened her, they're they're judging her as technically unavailable, which means they can use her recorded statements and just play them in court for the jury.
Incredible.
So all the shit she said before she was scared of being murdered in the shower is now up for grabs.
Real quick, James, would it be uncouth of us to make greeting cards, like holiday sweet, just anniversary cards that are like these words? I let you live.
No, I think this is exactly what people would find sweet, and Valentine's anniversaries. You really want to hear something like that? You know what I mean?
I could do a lot of things, and I let you live every day. Happy Valentine's Day.
I could kill you, and I don't.
Happy anniversary.
Happy Valentine's Day. That rhymes, by the way.
That does.
Happy Valentine's Day. I think that works. Yeah, we can make cards, and who wouldn't want to get a big bouquet of flowers and then get, aren't you happy I don't kill you? Because I could every day. But luckily you don't do hood rat shit, so happy anniversary.
Thanks for not being a hood rat. Happy birthday.
Thanks. Oh, my God. Congratulations on the pregnancy. That's what that card says.
I want to just get all kinds of tapes from like murderers and then just
transcribe what they say. Yeah. How many of those do you think would sell? A lot with our people. Yeah. They like weird shit like that.
I came from my mother's vagina. Ed Kemper. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Just we could make thousands of them.
Oh my God, yes.
Let's do it. Fucking, or just do it. Fucking Gilmore there. Fucking happy anniversary.
Incredible.
You could really go far with that shit. I like it. So they're going to allow the statement to come in. They said that that he intentionally reached out to her, not knowing that she was a potential witness against him. This is what he's saying now, in his defense, but that she was a part of the plea agreement that was going to testify against him. While the dialogue between them was not one of threats, it appears the defendant used manipulation and emotions, the court decides, and he clearly tried to use his knowledge of her feelings for him and manipulated and coerced her into backing out of the plea agreement. I think he threatened her life.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think she's scared.
A direct threat.
Yeah, I think if a guy who knows where to take a car to get chopped up probably knows somebody in women's prison that would beat this girl up. You know what I'm saying?
100% intimidation of a witness.
Absolutely. So the court then orders that her recorded statement be played. She's unavailable. So before the trial begins, though, his attorney says, one thing here. I just realized when I went through all the discovery that I know the owner of the gambling parlor quite well. He's a good friend of mine. Didn't realize that was his place. So he said, I've even vacationed with him.
How did you not know?
How did you not know what businesses he must own a lot of businesses.
You vacationed with the man, and he didn't tell you my place was robbed by a man carrying a fucking machete.
Machete people, well, it might have been years before that. We don't know. Maybe. But they've known each other for years. And they said, the court says, do you believe that any of these things you've raised today prevent you from acting ethically in a professional manner and representing your client? Yeah. And he said, no, I don't, but my client is concerned about that. Okay. The court says, okay, but I'm asking you, though. And he said, no, I don't. And they said, do you believe that because of these contacts or previous relationships you've had with these people that you've done things that you should not have done or that you didn't do things you should have done with this case? And he said, no, Your Honor. And the judge said, well, then I don't care what your fucking client says. You're good to remain.
You're on the case.
You're on the case because he didn't rob that guy. If he robbed that guy, it might have been different because he knows the owner. How often, if he owns a bunch of businesses, is the owner hanging out in this dump? Probably.
Yeah.
Not very. So
but he may say, I'll represent him to the best. I fucking hate this guy now, but I'll certainly represent. Yeah, I'll rep him. Shit,
I'll do what I can do here.
Yeah.
So that ends up a 4-day trial, and the court is, by the way, instructed the jury on robbery in the first degree with special interrogatory on brandishing a weapon. The lesser included charge of grand larceny and the use of a firearm during the commission of a felony. All the evidence we gave you. They left the fucking purse was sitting there.
I mean, what are you going to do, man?
Her
ID was there.
They got her ID and then her recorded statement saying this is what happened. So you're pretty fucked at this point, and he doesn't testify. So the verdict comes in, and they find him guilty of first-degree robbery. Before sentencing, he moves for a new trial, arguing that the jury had misunderstood the distinction between grand larceny and first-degree robbery. No, I think they understood it really well. One, you have a machete, and one you don't, I think is what they probably decided.
Yeah.
We're going with the first. That sounds first degree, a machete and a fucking. And it was a big plan, too. I
mean, first degree indicates planned, premeditated, organized,
with
executed.
A weapon, not good.
And you did it. Yeah.
And you fucking did it. So the court denies that motion, and during sentencing, this is fucking good here. First degree robbery, they find him, you, sir, may fuck off 100 years in jail.
Holy shit.
For the robbery. Now, he can get out way earlier than that, but still 100 years in jail, so that means he's going to have to go up for a lot of paroles, and his record is terrible. I mean, they're not going to go, well, he seems like a great risk.
Right.
Every time he's out of jail for a week and a half, he's back in cuffs. Like, there's no...
That's insane,
he's
man.
a lunatic. So, 2023, here, the murder trial comes up.
Yeah.
Now how
did they... When they did this, though, they've got him in jail on this forever, obviously. He's in a lot of trouble for this. And were they suspecting him of the murders, or they had no idea yet?
No, they were suspecting him of the murders, and as they were going through it, they arrested him for the robbery. As he's going through the trial, that's when all the physical evidence came in, and Dawn told them all. So then they go, oh, well, we're online waiting, so as soon as you're done with that, we got him next. Cool?
Is he well aware of that?
Yeah, he knows. Okay. He knows he's fucked. So they charged him with 3 counts of murder because he killed the baby too, and it wasn't like the mother's choice. It was a fucking she was fucking shot out of her.
Right.
The problem is the unborn child, they had to drop the 3rd murder charge because they said they found no evidence of fetal remains at the burn site. They burn up a lot faster because there's no solid bones and shit like that. It's a fetus. So the fetus was actually burned completely away, so they have no proof that the fetus existed.
They have no proof of a pregnancy.
No, unless she went to the doctor 5 minutes before this happened and took a sonogram, they don't have any proof that she's pregnant.
Wow.
Is the problem. Normally you have the corpse of the fetus.
You could have a sonogram from 4 months ago or 3 months ago.
You could have lost it between then and now.
We don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So that's why there's no way to charge him with this. You just can't. They said, though, that the anthropologist at the Smithsonian said that the fetal remains may have likely been consumed by the fire, whereas adult remains wouldn't have been.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cash back really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
They said that they didn't believe that they probably could have got a conviction on it anyway, they thought. They said it didn't seem like a weak case. Because they said, we have video evidence from Kroger that shows Lulu Jenkins clearly pregnant approximately 2 weeks before she was murdered.
Okay.
So she's walking around looking pregnant. We also had
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we also had medical records Jenkins was filling out that she had a doctor's appointment on August 15th, which was the day the remains were discovered. Mm-hmm. So she said, we fully believe that we could have gotten a conviction on the murder of the unborn child, but they were trying to streamline this whole thing.
Okay.
So apparently his robbery sentence, he's already been in since he's been arrested. This is 2023. He's already been in for 5 years. Yep. And they said he's eligible for parole in 20 years from then.
Oh, my God. That's
25 years. You have to do a quarter of it, I guess.
A quarter of your sentence on 100?
Yeah. So now they're going to put him in for this, and just as shits and giggles, they offer him a deal. Just as shits and giggles. They're like, yeah, let's see if he'll take a fucking deal where he gets another 100 years or whatever the fuck. But let's see if he'll deal on murder. And he does. He decides to plead guilty to it.
It feels like he knew, right? He knows he's fucked.
Yeah. The prosecutors are blown away, they said.
Yeah.
They said they expected this trial to be the 2-week-long Gerald Jacko show. He was going to be an asshole. He's going to be disruptive. He's going to do everything in court that you can't do to try to, just distract from the fact that he murdered people.
Right.
So, and we see that a lot in court from assholes and with murder charges. And they're going to, the one guy, I'm going to fake a heart attack. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go crazy. Yeah. So they said that the family said after 5 years of this, they said the plea was made with the blessing of everybody, with the whole family. Okay. She said the family came together, the prosecution came together, talked to the family, and talked about the plea offer, and they said they never expected him to take it, neither did we. Wow. And he actually did. But they said this plea offer represents finality, certainty, and closure. I know a lot of people wanted to know what was going to happen in this trial, but at the end of the day, getting 12 people in line and in step with one another through the guilty door takes a while. You never know with a jury. You just never know how a trial is going to go.
Yeah, that is the old saying of you don't
never know.
Trust your hard work to 12 idiots.
It's OJ too. I mean, think about it. Casey Anthony fucking walked away. Are you kidding me?
So many. Yeah.
It happens a lot. So
all the time.
You never know. And then they convict a lot of people wrongly too. So it's 12 people aren't. Maybe they should make it more. Maybe it should be like 30 people. Let's get like 30 people. That way there's even more ideas. 50 people. Fuck it.
It's got. We should do it uneven number, like 21.
That would help.
You know what I mean? Like a fucking blackjack.
Well, if it's got to be unanimous anyway, I got 20. Hit me. 17. I shouldn't hit, but I want. 4 more jurors. There we go. I win. So sentencing. This is from Lauren's sister, from Lulu's sister. Now we hold on to memories and old pictures, knowing new ones will never be made. To speak of her in past tense is so heartbreaking and hard to come to terms with. It's a void that will never be filled. Jesus, that's depressing. That's rough. Her sister's been fucking murdered. That's horrible.
And her baby, for Christ's sake. That's so fucked up. You had a couple that were happy and moving forward towards a better life. Yeah.
And also, Trevor's family came in and said what a nice son he was. He's a good friend. He's a good father. He's got a little boy. Yeah. What the fuck here? So the judge said this because Jacko basically tried to say, look, I've been addicted to drugs for 20 years and I'm a mess and, this causes me to do crazy shit. So, which is fine for the robbery, but this is a murder. Yeah, this is different. Right. This is a revenge murder. Your drugs had nothing to do with it. You're mad because he stole something from you.
You opened a man's neck in your in your fucking cheating Gumar's
in your Gumar's kitchen. Yeah, not cool. And then had her do a remodel job. He didn't even come over and help out with that.
You forced this woman to reno her kitchen. You bastard.
Think he brought over a bucket of spackle? I think not.
I doubt it. Yeah.
I doubt it.
I don't think he brought a roller, for Christ's sake.
Fuck no. So the judge said, quote, I see people suffering from addiction almost on a daily basis. It is West Virginia. So he's like, listen, I know meth and pills, trust me. But I don't see them commit the kind of crimes Mr. Jacko committed in this case. Not only did he murder 2 people, but then he dismembered and burned their bodies, leaving their families with nothing, not even the ability to mourn and bury their family members. You, sir, may fuck off 2 life sentences.
Not bad.
To run concurrent, though, so it's 1 life sentence, basically. Now, the court ruled that he'll serve count 1 for the murder of Trevor Vossen with the possibility of parole after 15 years. And the count 2 for Lulu's death, the possibility of parole after 15 years. So this puts him in parole in 15 years, up for parole in 15 years.
From now, or is it after the other one?
Once he completes the robbery sentence. So if they were going to parole him for that, which I don't know why they would because he's a murderer, then he can start 15 more years till he can get parole.
Okay.
So the prosecutor says that he'll serve at the very, very least 40 years at this point. So he'll be in his 70s when they let him out. But she says, the prosecutor said, with his atrocious record, it's not likely he'll ever be a free man again.
Yeah, he's going to fuck up in the joint, man.
We gave you a roadmap of how to escalate from minor shit to murder in a 15-year period. Like that, we just showed you the roadmap. And he's once you're there, you don't go backwards.
I know your job sucks. Just stick it out. Find another one while you're working. This is a crazy lifestyle.
This is not the way to live, man. This is a way you have to live like this when you're like young.
Nothing.
When you're young, you have to start like this. You don't just go, oh, I had a good job and all this stuff. And I feel like
a shit round of golf today.
Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with all this.
I shot an 82.
Decided to call my girlfriend a hood rat bitch afterwards. I didn't know I was done. Shot an 82. I said, you hood rat bitch. Fuck this shit. I'm killing people and you're going to help me dispose of the bodies.
What about the people that were a part of this, James?
The one guy, I believe, got immunity because to testify against him, and he never had to because there was no murder trial, so it didn't come out. But they said he was like forced into it. Like he basically said, "I will kill you if you don't help me." And they believed the guy because this guy's a lunatic, and you believe that kind of shit. Now, the prosecutor also said that she was going to, quote, give it to him good during the trial. Sounds like they were going to paddle him. Like,
ma'am, you can't just say that as the lead prosecutor.
She meant it in a sexual way, too. She's like, I was going to stick things up his butt. That was going to be part of the presentation.
I was going to fuck him with that umbrella.
I was going to do something.
I was going to open it in there.
She said during the acceptance of the plea deal, that gives the families some closure they deserve after 5 years of recounting the murders, which,
horrible.
The state was planning to call 26 witnesses, including experts from Marshall University and the Smithsonian Institute Anthropology Department, and they believe if the case had gone to trial, he would have been convicted on all counts. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't have pled.
Right.
So they said, why do you think he accepted the deal? And the prosecutor said, in his own mind, he believes he has a shot to breathe free air one day.
What?
He thinks he can get out in 40 years. He'll be almost 80, but
dude, you're not going to live that long.
He thinks he's going to get out at like 78 and then go out and party more.
Get
some more dumb tattoos.
Yeah, a man that tells a woman that he can reach out and get her in her prison.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's going to be able to function in this prison society and live it out.
And once they parole him for the robbery, obviously, because, he's not like he's been convicted of murder or anything, then they'll happily let him out for the murder, too. Just said, what a rehabilitated, great guy.
Wow. I mean, obviously he's out of his mind, but he is certainly out of his fucking mind.
Well out of his mind. They asked about the families, and the prosecutor said it was bittersweet, more bitter than sweet. There's always that desire to see and hear and know everything that happened, as much as the state can prove. And I think being deprived of that will haunt some family members. By the same token, there's also relief in knowing there's some finality, and closure is not to be underestimated. And she said what he did was incredibly brutal. And he appealed the robbery conviction, but he appeals it mainly on the case of they let phone calls in that he doesn't think they should have let in, which they decided that you can absolutely let in. Ineffective assistance of counsel, and some real ticky-tack shit, too, he was adding on there.
But that sign said Little Snoopy. It didn't say that they were recording my call.
It said I couldn't read it because it was graffiti language, but it said some shit. I think it was a gang tag. So he's going to be in there, and even if he did, by some miracle, get his robbery conviction overturned, he's still in for murder. So no matter what,
he's in so much trouble.
I can't imagine what parole board would look at this guy and go, that's the candidate. Perfect.
Right.
He's our guy. That's the one.
I'm shocked that they did not chase the girls harder. I'm shocked that they didn't get the other guy. All of these people need to be in jail. If she is going to help a robbery in terms of open the door for him, that's a bad woman.
She's a big part of it. That's a 3-person robbery. She's as big a part of it as anything, as anybody.
Absolutely.
So she's doing that. She's helping dispose of bodies. Dude,
she essentially said, go.
At some point, go to the cops if you're that upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what kind of life you're leading.
You rode in a car with 2 bodies.
I feel like drugs are a big part of this, though. I feel like
they're certainly not sober people.
Only a drug couple would that fly. If you can't go to your girlfriend and be like, I'm at this chick's house and I just killed these 2 people, including a pregnant woman, and I'm going to dismember them. Get up here and help me clean. Unless you're on meth, that's going to cause an argument. Sorry.
Your significant other is going to go, who is she?
Yeah. What relationship are you fucking people in? Anybody wouldn't realize that. Holy shit. That is a loose one.
I don't want to hear about the bodies. Who is she?
Now, that is that case, okay? Now, let's move on to another case here. A quick little case at the end.
Yeah.
That's a very modern. That case wrapped up in September 2023.
My God.
And the appeals are still going on as we speak, okay?
Oh, boy.
Case number 2 is been dead and buried for 75 years.
Really?
It takes place in 1948, this case, and it's amazing. We have to go to Panther, West Virginia.
Panther. Yeah.
Panther. It is in the far southwestern corner of that rounded area of West Virginia. Okay. Far, all the way down there. It is, I'll read from Wikipedia, it's an unincorporated community in McDowell County, West Virginia. Panther is located along the Tug Fork. Come on. The Tug Fork. I read that. I laughed like a fucking idiot for
with a fork.
20 hours, 20 minutes by myself here. That's amazing. Holy shit.
Boy.
Tug Fork.
You better look for a personal item for your stupid opinions called a tug fork.
Wonder how that got named. There's a fork up there in the creek, and when you get there, they'll just be...
you'll see it.
It's just a semen everywhere. Everywhere. And there's just people whacking it left and right. You're going to... Wow.
You can't miss it. Fellas.
You can't miss it. Anyway, take the left on the fork when you go there.
Take the left there.
That's where you want to go, on that direction there.
Anyway.
Avoid the semen, go around it, and wear your boots. Anyway. So, in 1948 in Panther, nowadays, you can't even find stats on this place. It's an unincorporated community.
It's a ghost town.
No population really to speak of. There's no downtown. Yeah, it might have been a town, 100 years ago, but
it's dying or dead.
There's a lot of towns in West Virginia that were alive in 48 that are ghost towns.
Probably
now.
right. Yeah.
Mining towns and things like that, where the mine dried up. That's it. Everybody leaves.
We leave. Yeah.
They leave a husk of earth. And like 8 people who crawl into the mountain to subsistence, pick coal from the walls to heat their houses. Thanks, coal companies.
With fires burning indefinitely underground.
Indefinitely.
Yeah.
And it keeps it a couple degrees warmer, so they're not even upset about it.
Summers are nicer.
So this is a family rivalry in 1948 in this area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. This is way different. It's the Witt brothers. WHITT, the Witt brothers, and the Justices, the Justice Clan.
Okay.
Those are their last names. They're longtime acquaintances, these people, and they live in the hollers in the general vicinity of Panther.
Okay.
These are fucking hill people. Yeah. Their favorite band is the Chillbillies, I believe, as we found out before.
Lots of Chillbillies playing on the roundy round.
Yeah, lots of those. Now, apparently there's been no serious problems between these two families. It's not like they've had a feud for 100 years or anything. This is the beginning of it here, okay?
Yeah. Hatfields and McCoys started over a pig, I believe.
A pig, and then there was a girl, too. There was somebody's sister that somebody went out on one of those.
Eventually, yeah. But the main feud started over fucking livestock.
It could be anything. If you live near each other, then it just keeps escalating.
I'd love to know how this one started.
Now, the Justice patriarch, Matt Justice is his name, which absolutely sounds like a 1960s TV show of a cowboy coming in. Matt Justice,
big square jaw.
They show him on a horse. He pulls up. Matt Justice.
Yeah. He's bigger than the horse.
It's Old West Justice in the modern day. That's the.
His feet touch the ground on that horse.
He comes in with the horses riding him, and he's like, "My horse got tired. Thought I'd give him a break."
He's got to lift his legs so the horse can walk.
Now, Matt Justice, he's the dad, and on December 12th, 1927, he was convicted of a charge of murder. So
what'd you do, Matt?
He was served a sentence of 12 years at the state penitentiary.
Huh? They've gotten a little stiffer since then.
Yeah. Well, then he ended up, I guess, in the month of April 1928, he was convicted of a felony for the Southern. Okay, and he's sentenced to 6 years in the federal penitentiary. So he's got 12-year and a 6-year sentence for two separate things, a murder and something else. Now, that's the patriarch. So that's how the Witt family goes.
Yeah. Justice.
Yeah. So now 1948, there's some evidence to the effect that the Witt brothers here in early November 1948 had, quote, some trouble, as it's put in the court documents, with Zeb Justice. These are real human beings. Zeb Justice, he's the brother of Matt Justice Jr.
Oh,
of course.
Matt's boy, yeah.
Matt's boy. And the Witt brothers believed that Matt Justice would seek revenge against them for their treatment of Zeb Justice.
Okay.
We're going to get him back for what happened to Zeb, is what it is. Mm-hmm. But nobody knows whether Matt actually intended to do this or not.
Oh, boy.
But that's just what they thought. And they've been telling people around town that, oh, man, I don't know. Jeb's going to tell Matt. Matt's going to be pissed.
Clintons and McLarys are coming for you.
Yep. So November 6th, 1948, about 10:30 or 11 in the morning here, the Witt brothers drive their car near the home of Matt Justice. So they drove over and requested him to come out to the road, calling him a bad name. They said, quote, called him a vile name, which was
Yellow
probably
belly.
Sissy, I believe, really caused a big one coming down there. You call me yellow?
Come on, you swishy sumbitch.
Who knows what backwoods insults these people traded with each other. Your moonshine's terrible. You sumbitch. Now, that's where I draw the line. You know that's how I make my living.
You drunken pussy.
Oh, man.
Drunken sissy. It may have been even more vile than anything that we ever say.
Who knows? That's what I mean. Yeah. We don't know what the fuck he said. So Matt Justice comes outside. How dare he call? I won't take shit from these Witt boys. Yeah, I'm doing that. He comes outside and he says that Curtis Witt was out there, and he says, quote, Curtis throwed a gun on me.
Yeah.
He throwed a gun on me.
He didn't throw it.
He was still in his hand. Throwed a gun on me. And said, I'm going to shoot you in two. Which, wow, that'd be a big bullet. What's he got?
No shit.
Artillery fire? Some kind of, I'm going to shoot you in two. I've never heard that said.
This tiny pistol's a 50 cal.
Wow. We have heard a lot of like threats on this show. I'll shoot you in two. That's a definite new one.
Yeah.
So Matt Justice stops and doesn't go down the road anymore. Doesn't go toward the road. I didn't realize you were going to shoot me in two. I guess I'll stop.
Right. Yeah.
So the Witt brothers drove farther down the road a little bit then and fired the gun back toward Matt's house. As like a warning shot. Pow, whatever. Yeah. Okay. And then they took off. Later in the day, though, one of the Witt brothers fired a gun at the home of Matt Justice's daughter.
All right.
So now they're going around, well, he won't fucking come outside to be murdered in the street by us.
Yeah.
So I'll go threaten his daughter. That'll get him out. That'll do it. Now, meanwhile, they're doing this because they're afraid that Matt's going to be pissed about Zeb and come after them.
Don't you be pissed at me now.
Yes. So this is all preemptive strike here. So they fired a shot at his daughter's house. Okay. The daughter called the cops, which is something that you never hear in these stories. It's
very rare. Yeah.
It's very 1948 in backwoods. She actually went, I don't know. She didn't know there was a beef going on or anything. She said, someone shot at my house. I'm calling the cops. So she does here. Now, later on in the day, though, I guess Matt Justice and Zeb drove to Lager, the town of Lager, for the purpose of purchasing feed and groceries. So food for the people and the animals.
Yeah.
They went into the White Front Cafe and ordered a beer. But they left the cafe without drinking the beer because they turned around and saw that the Witt brothers were in a booth in the cafe. This is a small town. I
don't want to start a fight in here. Let's just leave. Yeah.
So after leaving the cafe, they drove to a feed store, made some purchases, and apparently delivered some rugs at the request of the feed store proprietor. I don't know if he said, I'll give you a break on this if you bring these rugs to this guy or what. But Now, we don't know exactly what the Witt brothers did right after they left the cafe, but we do know they went to a gas station a little time later, and the service attendant, because this is in the full serve days,
right? Yeah,
saw 2 shotguns in the rear of the car.
Okay,
and he took that into his head. But around there, who knows? Hunting, we don't know what people are doing.
Yeah.
Other witnesses said they also saw 2 guns in the automobile on that day. So definitely there. So there was some contention, though, whether the guns were intended to be used. They were telling everybody, yeah, we're going squirrel hunting. That's why.
Yeah.
We're going squirrel hunting. That's why we got them. So one witness, they asked him, did you have a conversation with Thomas Witt on that occasion with reference to Matt Justice? And he said he had asked, this is the answer to this. This is Herbert Brunty answers this question. He's a witness here. He says, he asked me if I had heard the latest. I said, no, I reckon not.
Yeah.
No, I reckon not. What about it? He said, about Zeb Justice getting beat up. And I said, he did? And he said, yes. Well, I said, do you think it's over? Well, he said, I don't know. We may have to kill old Matt before it's over. So, yes, he killed Zeb, who was Matt's son. So they're beat up Zeb. Right. And they're like, now we're going to have to deal with Matt. Matt never said shit about this, but they were like, we're going to have to kill Matt. That's all there is to it.
He's a bad man. And that's Junior Matt, yes?
That's Junior Matt, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Sr.'s already gotten out of the pokey for murder. So there's evidence to the effect that the reputation of Thomas Witt was bad, according to court documents. Bad reputation, right? Yeah. And considerable evidence to the effect that the reputation of Curtis Witt was also bad. So Curtis and Thomas Witt, not good guys. They're
the guys that stand around Pump 7 talking about murdering folks. The guys
that shoot at someone's daughter's house. Yeah, those guys. Weird, right? Strange.
Bizarre.
Really bizarre. So November 6th, 1948, this is the day we've been talking about.
Yeah.
There's been multiple shooting incidents and threats going around. About 4 p.m., in Panther, near the southern end of the bridge crossing of the Tug River.
Gross.
It's full. It's just
whole river.
It flows a little slower than most rivers, but remember Ghostbusters 2, Under the Ground? That's about how it's going to flow, probably, I would say. And if you jumped in, you'd come out looking about the same.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah, you move your hand real fast, you're going to sling it.
Oh, it's going to sling all over the place like spatter. So apparently Thomas Witt and his brother Curtis drove their car to that point about 15 to 30 minutes prior to the arrival of Zeb and Matt Justice in a truck being driven by Zeb. Okay. So they went and parked near this bridge and waited for them.
Really?
The Witt boys went and waited at this bridge. There's only one way over. Only one way over the bridge, and we know they're in town. So they got to come back this way eventually. Wow, that is fucking wild. So apparently after the arrival of the truck, I guess they got out of the truck, the justices did here. They got out of the truck and they go around. They each had .38 caliber pistols in their hand as well.
Attaboy.
And they went around the front end of the Witt automobile, and Matt Justice went around the rear of the automobile. They just opened fire from both sides on these guys.
Really?
They just 38s from front into the back into the fucking truck, into the truck there. Yeah.
Wow.
They said they've been threatening, saying they're going to have to kill me. They shot at my house. They called me a name. They shot at my daughter. They said they're looking for me.
So I
now
fixed
they're fucking waiting for us at the end of this bridge.
Yeah.
We're not, what are you going to do? Let them kill us? Fuck it. We're going after them. So they do. Both of the Witts were killed, Thomas and Curtis. Shot to death with many holes in them. So after the shooting was over, the pistol that was used by Zeb contained 1 loaded and 5 empty shells. So he shot him 5 times with his. Yeah. And the pistol used by Matt was had only 2 empty and 4 loaded shells. So
he only shot 2.
So it's 7 times total. I think he hit him probably.
Good shots.
These people are good shots. They all have to be. They hunt squirrels and little animals and
those
shit.
Things are fucking fast.
Yeah, you got to be a good shot. That's why, like, in the Civil War, Like for the first little while, the South had a huge advantage because these people, a lot of them were hunters and they just knew how to hunt with rifles. It took a while of training for guys from, fucking Brooklyn to do that.
New York City.
Yeah. For knife fighting, fine. But if we got to use
guys
rifles.
from Boston.
Yeah, it's a little different. So they're good at it. So they do. They said that Thomas Witt died from gunshots inflicted by Zeb. Curtis Witt here, they said that Matt Justice killed Curtis. So one of them shot one and one shot the other is the way they did it.
He only had to shoot him twice to get it done.
Good shot. He comes from a long line of murderers. Yeah. His daddy's a murderer. I'm sure his grandpappy's a murderer. Proven. He's a proven out murderer. So Matt Justice ends up being convicted of voluntary manslaughter in connection with the death of Curtis Witt.
Oh, because they could have pulled the rifles?
Because, they said, I guess they were like, well, I mean, there was beef. I mean,
There was beef and there was shotguns.
But at the time, the shotguns weren't pointed at them or out or.
Yeah, man, that's just called quick draw.
That's what I mean. Got to you first.
Yeah.
Should have been waiting with your shotguns, you lazy fucks. There were a number of witnesses who saw the shooting, by the way.
Really?
A lot of people just hanging by the bridge, by the Tug River.
Gross.
Well, how else would you get that much tug in there unless you hung out on the banks of it?
Yeah, it's got to be just lined with fellas.
Fellas just up and down. Just
the
up and down.
The shoreline is just tons of guys.
One guy trying to fish, like, come on, guys. Can I get a little bit of elbow room is all I'm asking. I can't even cast, man.
Oh, you ain't gonna catch nothing with that in your hand.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, Jesus. Oh, man, this is disgusting. I'm going to have to really clean what comes out of here, boy. Let me tell you something.
What is that, bait?
I don't know if anyone's ever tried that, but that sounds disgusting as bait.
I don't think it's going to work, man.
I bet like sunfish would come up and eat it, too. That's the gross part. They probably would. Doop, bloop. They'd eat it. Oh, man. So, they said that according to the evidence here, at the time the truck was being driven by Zeb, stopped at the scene of the homicide, Thomas and Curtis Witt, and also a Thomas Justice, so they were all there too, were standing on the right side of the Witt automobile, a Tudor sedan. So they had I don't know if that's supposed to be two-door and they misspelled it in the court document.
I don't know. Tudor might be a brand of vehicle.
Might be a car brand back then. I have no idea. But either way, Thomas Justice, one of the Justice clan, was there also. I guess talking to them, figuring it out, and they just came out and come up popping, firing away.
Wow.
So they said that Jeb got out of the truck with a pistol in his hand and immediately shot at Thomas Witt, yelling out, quote, "Oh, yes, God damn you, we got you."
Oh, yes,
God damn you, we got you, which is very Old Westy.
Yeah, it is.
He then fired another shot at Thomas Witt, and after Thomas Witt fell to the ground, he reached into the Witt automobile, picked up one of the shotguns, and beat Thomas over the head with it.
Wow.
Then went around the Witt automobile, beating Curtis over the head with the gun after Curtis had already been shot by Matt.
Unbelievable.
So these two have been shot to death, and he went, "Nope, not done yet, bitch. Take that."
You guys kicked my ass. I'm
started
getting revenge today. Yeah.
Started going to ass whooping on him, which is hilarious. He's now beating these people, their dead bodies. And there's like 10 people around, by the way. Not only did you shoot them, now you're like, "Yeah, you son of a bitch, take that." Well, he's pounding them with their own shotguns. The two shotguns were lying on the ground near the Witt automobile immediately after the shooting. They were broken down and neither had been fired. So they were loaded and they were found in the pockets of Thomas Witt with other loaded shells. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The stock of one of the guns had appeared to have been recently broken. Yes, over their heads.
On someone's head. Yeah.
Wow, that's to beat someone hard enough to break.
Mad. Yeah.
To break an old school shotgun stock too. That's not
solid
like some new
wood.
thing. That's a fucking solid thing. He broke that shit over people's heads. He's angry. Wow. So evidence is, they said that it's that's what the prosecution says.
Yeah.
Guys were hanging out by a bridge, just a talking and a hanging and doing whatever. And they just got ambushed, basically, by these guys coming over the bridge. But the defense says, no, that's not what happened.
Right.
No, they said that the Witt brothers were lying in wait for him and his daddy. That's what Zeb said. For me and my daddy. And as soon as they recognized the truck being driven by us, they ran to their automobile and that each got a shotgun and was attempting to shoot them when they got out of the truck. So he's saying they took the shotguns out and were trying to load them and getting ready to shoot at them as they got out and just started bucking shots at them.
Right.
As the justices were seeking justice.
Feels like the justices got there swifter than they thought. Swift justice showed up.
Swiftly.
Yeah. And it got there quick. It caught them by surprise. They didn't know.
Yeah. Justice is sneaky sometimes. That's what happens.
Sometimes it just pops in.
So lucky Justice wasn't blind, or they really wouldn't have would have shot witnesses. John Church, he's a guy he was in the middle of the truck with the justices. He was sitting in the middle seat there.
Sitting bitch.
And he said that the, quote, the Witt boys got out of this car with guns or sticks. I couldn't state which it was.
One of them's drastically more
probably
threatening.
Guns. Yeah. Who would get out with a stick?
I'm going to get you with this hickory.
Who de-escalates from firing shots at people to, I got a stick now? You don't de-escalate like that, do you? Wow. So they said, they asked the witness, when this witness was asked this question, to which he answered, what was said there between Matt and Dennis at the time? And he said, he got out right away. They had sticks. This guy said, quote, well, the first word that was said, as I understood, Matt said, Dennis, stop this truck. Well, yeah, that'll happen.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably the start of this fight. Yeah.
Once you were stopped from there. The first thing I remember him saying is he said, put 5 on pump 5. And I said, okay. And that was back then. Then he went in and got a pack of Marlboros.
Heard him say, I'll have my toast white.
Yeah, I heard that. He likes his eggs.
Easium?
He likes his eggs over medium, in case you're all wondering. So he said, Dennis, stop the truck. And then he starts every sentence with, well. He said, well, first word that was said, as I understood, was Dennis, stop the truck. Well, he went on maybe 4 or 5 feet, it seemed to me, and he said, Dennis, I told you to stop this truck.
Yeah.
And Dennis said, all right, Daddy, I am stopping it. I said,
Zeb's name Dennis?
I guess Dennis, yeah. I said, what's the matter? I was the one that spoke then, and I said, what's the matter? So everybody said, what's the matter? He said, I said, what's the matter? He said, I was me that said that, even though I said that.
Just want the credit, yeah.
It kind of shocked me. He said, that's the Witt boys, he said. That's his sentence. He said, that's the Witt boys, he said. Whoa. That's Witt boy. Did you see them jumping out with their guns? I said, yes, it was something. Because that's what they asked him. Did you see him jumping out with their guns? I said, yes, it was something. He said, it is us or it's them. I said, maybe not. That's something you want to know for sure. You know, you probably could have just kept driving, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be.
I think that's what he means.
Try to broker this shit later,
with
the intermediaries and, like a mob family. You don't have to fight.
Right. He's like,
have to fight it out.
They brought me into this shit. I wasn't even a part of it. I was just riding in the most uncomfortable position in this truck.
He said, it's us or them. And he goes, maybe not. Maybe we could just keep driving.
Maybe we just keep going, guys.
Maybe y'all could drop me off at home first. That's all.
Maybe it's none of us. Maybe I don't catch a stray today.
Maybe dinner's almost ready. What do you think?
Maybe my wife's expecting me.
Let's get on out of here. What you say?
Maybe I got hogs to feed. You don't
got
know.
Something. Yeah. He said, then he stepped right out on the right. He stepped out on the right, and Dennis got out on the left, and I bowed my head over. He was like, I don't want to bow my head over.
Between my knees,
I don't want to see this shit, and I don't want to get shot. Now, Mrs. Raymond Johnson, daughter of Matt Justice, was looking out a window of her home near the scene. It's all right here. She lives right by the bridge. He's up the street from that.
Yeah.
This is so where she's looking out the window going, there's going to be a confrontation. It's happening, like Old West style. Like
it's 1949, for Christ's sake. 46?
That's what I mean.
Whatever.
They're watching the Earps and the Cowboys come together in the... What's going on here? She saw this with Matt looking out the window near the home. She testified that, quote, I saw Curtis with the gun throwed up in my father's face, and when he done that, I broke and ran. That's how they
amazing at telling
literal
stories. Yeah,
I'm not fucking making this sound
Stowed
more
up.
rural.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they fucking said in court documents. Wow. This is it here. So I guess the younger justice guy here, Zeb / what the hell's his Dennis? Dennis is this. That's just, now we're in West Virginia. I just keep thinking Dennis is this with his finger up. Dennis testifies that he drove the truck to the end of the Panther Bridge, intending to stop for the purpose of letting John Church get out of the truck.
Oh,
we were dropping Church off. It was the end of the line for him.
Part of this, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it just wanted to ride there. And then when he was asked what he saw, he said, so far as the actions of the Witt brothers were concerned, and here's what Dennis says, quote, well, the first thing, I was talking with John, some conversation, the middle guy. I don't remember what it was, and I noticed the boys in the car shuffling around in the car. And when I got a little bit closer, I could see them going back out of the car, and I could see the muzzle of a gun through the glass as they went out. So I intended stopping anyway, I guess to let dude in the middle out. Yeah. And then I had to stop more suddenly than what I intended to. Then this is an exact quote. "'Gainst I could stop, the boys were on the ground. Were both on the ground. 'Gainst I could stop, the boys were both on the ground. I don't know what that means. Against without the A and an apostrophe next to it. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's something that he said. Curtis was coming toward the rear of the car, just dropped his shoulder to see through the glass, and Thomas, he was standing on the opposite side of the wheel, on the right-hand side with the door open, and he was down. You could see the gun up in that position over the top, looking through the window and over the wheel of the car, and you could see so much of the gun barrel. So there is vastly different things.
Yeah, they are describing that these boys are in position to attack us.
They're using their car as a
shield,
like a fort, basically, to shoot out at you. Meanwhile, other people said that they were just like having a conversation leaning against the car, and then other people said they got out of the car with their weapons and were like running away from the car with their weapons or sticks or whatever. So who the fuck knows what happened with this? If you're a judge, you just go, you're all hillbillies. I'm not doing this.
Against my better judgment.
Fuck off. My judgment is against all y'all. Fuck yourselves. Get out of my courtroom. I don't care what you do. Kill each other in the streets. I don't give a shit.
It's too hard to decipher right from wrong here. I don't know what you did.
Steel cage match to settle it. I can't help you anymore. I don't know what to do. He also testified that he believed his life and the life of his father were in danger, and that at the time he stopped the truck, the quote, Witt boys were on the ground with their guns. They were getting in position to shoot, and they had them guns in their hands like this. And he was showing.
Aimed at us, yeah.
He said, you could see them back behind the car there just as I was getting stopped. Okay, and that's Matt gave the similar version of that.
Yeah.
So they took the jury to the scene, which had to be hilarious. Also crowded between all the guys, all the people hanging by the bridge, his daughter by the window, and the line of men whacking it into the river. It was a busy day. Busy day.
Yeah.
So officers and others who were at the scene immediately after the shooting and before anything happened placed the Witt automobile and the justice truck and objects representing the bodies of the Witt brothers. So basically what they did is they took the jury out and put out like a can of paint. That's Kurt. That's the one Witt. That's Thomas Witt's head right there.
Yeah.
That's what they did, basically. And they made like a little
recreation
diagram, a little diorama, a live diorama. So also there were pointed out to the jury the locations of the Panther Bridge, the Greenbrier Bridge, and the home of Matt's daughter, who was shot at earlier and all that kind of thing. So that Matt ends up pleading guilty to the voluntary manslaughter and getting like 5 years. But Dennis isn't going to do that. Dennis wants this trial, goddammit.
Yeah.
And they find him and this trial with all that, and it's just people. There's multiple witnesses where there's a lot of like, well, I saw this and he was 10 feet this way, and people, was it 15 feet or 10 feet? I think it was 10 feet, but lots of witnesses like arguing distance, like 10, 15. No one knows distance, by the way.
No, of course
People are the worst at measuring distance. You have no fucking clue how far you are from anything. I don't.
Yeah.
What is that, about 30 yards? Who knows? I don't know. So there was a lot of like witnesses talking about distances and how far they were away when they shot at them and how far had the Witt boys walked away from their car to get to them and like, you know, who's the aggressor and all that shit. In the end, Dennis Justice is found guilty of murder.
Is that right?
Guilty of murder. And he is sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, the state penitentiary for a, quote, indeterminate period.
You can't do that.
They do a not less than and not more than back then. So an indeterminate period of not less than 5 years and not more than 18 years.
Oh.
So he's going to do 5. And that was obviously like a confrontation between two people, and he's going to do 5 years in jail. So there's that. So in West Virginia nowadays, if you kill people and dismember them and burn them and everything else, you get life sentences and 100 years for robbery. Back then, you and your daddy could go out on a nice shootout with a couple of nice brothers and just shoot them down in the streets, and you only get 5 years.
In front of the whole Tug community.
I tell you what, this country gone to hell in a handbasket if you can't even shoot a rival pair of brothers you're upset with your daddy. It's ridiculous. If that's the way this is going down, my name isn't Justice, damn it. So that is Wheeling, West Virginia, and a bonus Panther, West Virginia as well in there. West Virginia, the reason why we've done 2 a couple of times, the coverage of things in West Virginia is terrible. They
don't like to write it.
The fucking media there doesn't do shit. The newspapers don't put out their archives also. Yeah. So they're impossible to find. So the only cases with tons and tons and tons of shit are ones that everybody's done. Yeah. So to find these niche cases, we really have to find ones that there's just not as much information as would be in another case where there's 50 newspaper articles to get background and context and all that. So it's really difficult, West Virginia. They're always the craziest cases covered the least. If I was a journalist in West Virginia, I'd just go around covering insane murders. That's all I would do. And you'd fucking be busy as shit.
You're employed for the difference, though, James, is some people there can't count to 4.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're like, 3? Shit, I lost.
What comes after 3?
And then she went to collect her composure. Because counting was a lot for her. So if you like the show, definitely, please, this is super important. And we don't ask it a lot. We'll say it just in passing. Yeah. Tell everybody about it. Tell your friends about it. Post about it on social media. Like the posts. Follow us on social media. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Murder Small on Twitter. So check all those out. Come hang out with us. Leave a review on whatever you're listening to. I don't know why it matters, but for some fucking reason, it really helps the show. So thank you for doing that. Everyone who's done that already, thank you. If you haven't done it yet, maybe just do it this week.
Get after it. Yeah.
We worked really hard this week, so maybe hit us back like that.
Go to the Instagram page or the Facebook page
out.
And comment about the Tug River. Just
Doesn't
throw
matter.
the Tug River Wiki page on there.
That's all. And also, you can just, if you're going to, leave a review on any app you're listening on, just say, I've been to the Tug River, and we'll know that who you are and where you're listening.
Weekend at the Tug River.
I tug into the river, and we know who you are. So thank you for all the people that have done that. It's just, really, we don't, really advertise the show very much, honestly, because we don't want people that would hate the show. We don't want to assault people with something they think it's something else. And they go, oh, these guys are making jokes. What assholes.
Right.
So
people hate louder than they love.
That's what I mean. So we try to keep it tight, which is odd because that is the worst thing you could do with something like this.
Yeah.
So we really need you guys to spread it to like-minded people, and it helps a lot. So thank you for all the people that have done that, and for 479 episodes now. We cannot thank you enough for that. Also, check out Crime and Sports this week. We did our 400th episode, which if you like us, it's a huge accomplishment to get to 400, especially in that. And it's a really good episode. There is extremely little amounts of sports in the last 2 weeks for Sean Jones and Nick Gage. Very little sports. For Sean Jones, it's a murder with very little sports. It's small town murder.
7 fights?
7 fights. There's nothing. And we just make fun of him for 5 minutes and go back to the murder shit. So it's just like Small Town Murder. You will love it. Check that out. And also, listen to Your Stupid Opinions.
Great show.
If you're like, I've been meaning to check that out. It's an hour long. It's super fast. And it'll feel like it's 5 minutes. It's the funniest. Literally, I don't laugh at us if I listen to the show. Right. I'm not laughing at our own jokes. I'll laugh at something you said. I'll never laugh at my own shit. You know what I mean? But this show, you will. You'll laugh at anything. I've listened to it when I'm editing and stuff. I fucking laugh out loud at it. It's so funny. It's so funny. Check out Your Stupid Opinions, please, and spread the word on that, too. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for following us on social media.
Yeah.
Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com to get your tickets for live shows. We got the whole year of them. April 5th in Sacramento is our first live show of the year.
Yeah.
And then April 6th in San Francisco. Those are going to be different shows, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can go to both. They're like an hour apart.
Yeah.
You can go to both. You're going to hear 2 different nights or 2 completely different stories. So check that out. That's 5th and 6th. Then April 20th with our 420 special virtual live show. Yeah. Anywhere you are on planet Earth that has Wi-Fi. If you're on Mars and you can get a connection, God damn it, get the fucking show. And listen, anywhere, it's just like a regular live show. Us at the table with the pictures and the screen behind us, just like what you see on a stage, except you're going to be in your living room, drinking your own booze, smoking your own weed, fingering each other, doing whatever you want to do with each other. That's the best part. You can do anything. You can't do that in the theater. They will kick you out.
Watch it on the banks of the Tug River.
Don't care. While you're tugging, we don't care. You paid for it. It's all yours. And if you do get it, not only can you watch it on April 20th, you can watch it as many times as you want for 2 weeks after that as
14 days?
14 days. You can buy it, have it, watch it, rewatch it, wipe your ass with it, do anything you want with it. We're perfectly happy to do that. So thank you. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets to live shows, especially those ones at the end of the year where you go, what's that, New York in December?
Wait a minute.
It's almost sold out. Get your tickets now.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Don't wait a minute. I'm telling you. You can always, if you get them and you can't go, you can always sell them to one of the other fans later on or something or whatever. Give them away. I don't know. I would get them if you think you want to go. So do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow us. Keep hanging out. Patreon.com/crime and sports is all the bonus material. Yeah. And we pump out the bonus material. There are hundreds of back episodes to listen to that you'll get immediately upon subscribing. Anybody $5 a month or above. You can have a shit cup of coffee that might not even be done right. Yeah. Or you can have hundreds of Patreon episodes, which are done very much fucking right. They're hilarious. So check those out. You get new ones every other week, 1 crime and sports and 1 small town murder. And we try to do subjects that both groups will like. That's the thing. And we end up, we can do it pretty well. For crime and sports this week, we're talking about Hans Niemann, who you don't have to like sports because he's a chess player who allegedly stuck a vibrator up his ass to get chess moves beamed to him. And he's not the first person to do things up his ass to do this either. This is a thing that happens in table games, cards and checkers, I assume, tiddlywinks.
Wow.
Anything. I don't know. So, mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
You know, little ball rolls.
A little boggle.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Especially Clue. Especially Clue.
You get a clue. That's what
sure. It's a clue, all right. So it's covered in poop, but it's a clue. So we're going to do that.
Whatever he did it with the candlestick.
Definitely. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about D.B. Cooper. Went up in a plane, gave a note, jumped out of the fucking plane, disappeared. Did he get away? Did he not get away? We'll talk all about it. I've been so interested in this since I was a small child. So
I love it so much.
Always been a fascination of mine. I can't wait to talk about that. That's going to be so much fun. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And of course, we won't forget to tell your name here. Jimmie's going to give you a shout out here. We're going to shout you out. He's going to mispronounce your name. And I think it's about time to do that right now. Let's hear all the wonderful people who donated this week. Jimmie, hit me with the names of these fantastic people who would never shoot us down in the streets. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Laura Turner, Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, Janice Hill, Kyle Norwig on his way to the Blue Pearl Buffet, James.
Hey, going to the Blue Pearl. That's your stupid opinions reference.
It's evidently located down the street from his kids' headquarters.
No.
They've been there before, and they go there a lot. I don't know.
Careful.
Keep me posted, Kyle. Jordan Bennett donating on behalf of the memory of Brother Deej.
Well, thanks,
so
Jordan.
upset to find out that Brother Deej was a great musician. So go
Find his shit. DEGE. Martha Gilreath, Dustin Mobley, and Jesse Hines. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. You are tremendous. Other producers this week are the unfunny comic Joey Bishop. Who is that? Do we know
Joey
that?
Bishop was part of the Rat Pack.
Oh, got it.
He was the comic of the Rat Pack. We'll go out and do that shit.
Louis Skolnick, president of the Tri-Lambs. That's nice.
That's the guy with the glasses from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Not the main guy.
Right.
That guy. Not Anthony Edwards. The other guy.
No. Captain
not Booker. Not the black guy. Not Anthony Edwards.
The main one. Yeah. Captain Lou Albino is coined by Rowdy Piper. I didn't know that. He called him Lou Albino. Did you know that?
I never heard him call him Lou
Evidently
Albino. But
during the Cyndi Lauper times. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. They were always arguing then. That could happen.
Sharon Jones also. Thank you, Sharon. Joshua Waite, Julie R., Heather Varvel, CJ and Jacob Mutson, Mercedes Roof. Just one Mercedes, not plural.
Just one. Yeah,
Nick with no last name, Jessica Hippe.
Hype. Room in the garage.
Mel with no last name, Ian McClements, Edward Overbay, Sally Kutas, Isabel Cooper, Jason Gajan, Courtney Damron. Is that real? Yeah, it is. Marla Bureau. Chrissy Hatfield, Jennifer B., James Richter, Lex Atkins, Rhiannon McCovey. Pauline with no last name. Is that a song too? God
it's
damn
Fleetwood
it.
Mac.
Yeah, you're right. Karen Haichi, almost Hitachi. Brian with no last name. Brian Williamson, probably the same guy, two different patrons. I don't know, maybe two Brians back to back.
Thank you, Brian. 1 and 2.
Both of you, Bryans. Andrew Fisher, Andrea Hermanson, Andrea maybe. Colton with no last name. Keith Wardell, Steve Gilrey, Ryan Larson, Joe Werner, Luis Lewis. I don't know. Elaine Oldendorf, Bishop Williams. Don't put two words back to back and have me try to pronounce each one different.
Here. Yeah.
Mike Geary, Kim Whiteman, Jenna Utter. Oh, that is Charlie's daughter, I imagine.
Yeah,
with,
absolutely. Yeah.
Charlie Utter and what was her? Joni. God,
Joni Stubbs.
God damn it. Lisa Cole, Destiny Burkhalter, Mallory McCool, Dylan Valesky, Michelle Schleich, Mike with no last name, Sydney Trimble, Danielle Damari, Rachel B., 21, Fuzzy Nips, Emily with no last name, Melissa Truax, Amanda Burrell, yeah, Ariel Clark, Christy B., Annalisa,
Yeah.
Violet Hernandez, Will Warren, Tracy Holmes, Ryan Caruco, Akamoto.
I heard your name was Annalisa. Now, I'm just saying. Any of that true? Y'all want to hang out later?
Just saying. Want to get a drink? Well, Sarah Ritter.
Come by. Watch the race later.
I'm trying some
NASCAR's
poppers.
on. Yeah, come on.
Kevin Horde, Phyllis, and Mickaninch. Senorita Dave Grohl. Senora Dave Grohl.
Excellent.
Yeah. Liz Green, Jessica Smith, Ben Keller, Colleen Mathis, Rajeen, Shireen Armstrong, Melly with no last name, Troy Faley, Craig Kohler, Daniel Barnes, Jessica Duran, Emily Lemasters, Jeffrey Moises, Meiosis, Megan Riggy, Paul Semartan, Chris Dunn, Amy. That is a bananas way of spelling Amy. Amaie. Is that Amy? Amaie?
Wow.
Amy.
M-I-I-E.
All right. G. Willikers. The letter G, Willikers. Batman. All
gotcha.
Right. Shannon De Silva, Matthew Welzenbach, Jessica Patterson. OJ's glove, James.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
Now we know where OJ's glove is. Perfect. I've been wondering where that's been at.
Carrie Lennon, Christopher Murray, Jordan Jost, Marjorie Bowie Collard, Jim Harrington, Valerie Clark, Sam McAllister, Krista Lee, Amanda Wilkie Newton, Emily Chandler. This show brought to you by the letter B, Isaac Black, Austin, Ireland, F me so gently with a chainsaw. What?
Oh. All right.
Just lovingly gliding in and out.
That's
Yikes.
like with the Buick in the Common Sports episode. With the Bonneville. Sorry, it's a Pontiac.
67 Bonneville.
Yeah, 67 Bonneville. back in Crime and Sports.
Anna with no last name. James Perrier, Wendy Barnes, Josh Burton, and Angelique Solgat. Icarus. 189 Stackhouse.
And also
I don't know. I don't know
the legend of flying too close to the sun.
Patricia Coleman, Arnett Gutierrez, Nina Ruth Sutherland, Debbie Viverino, Celeste Robinson Mazot, Bill Whitmer, Fanny G.Z., Diana Marie Dripple. All right. Judy Tilley, Kelsey Carpenter, Nancy Perozzi, Tina. It's not Tina. Tryon, Cindy Smith. Heather Letterly, John Stewart, probably not, Daniel Beecham, Lindsay Phelps, Anna and Tom, Kendall Rodman. Happy birthday, Jaden. Jack and Finn said so. Adam Minarick, James Tuttle, Julia C., Tim O'Brien, Super Stacy, Allison Hall, Christian Yates maybe, Jacob with no last name, Bree Archer, and of course, all of our patrons. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah. Honestly, from the bottom of our cold, dead hearts, we appreciate all that you fucking do for us. We can't do this without you. We've been doing this now for 7 years, this show, and we owe it all to you. So thank you for what you do to us, do for us. You don't really do anything to us in a gross or bad way. Thanks for everything. Yeah. If you want to follow us on social media, go ahead and do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com is the links. I'm even on Instagram now. You can see pictures of my dog and shit on there. So it's fun stuff. And hang out with us. Keep coming. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.